So Kushtaka's getting a drink. Louis, what you doing?
I remember there being sorry. I
You
remember
good?
there being a machine that granted me any food I liked. So I'm gonna
Indeed.
get some nachos topped with cheese. Um,
That's
just
hella
cheese,
fair.
nothing else. Just plain cheese, no jalapenos, no salsa, just cheese. And I'm gonna layer it, so there's gonna be like a thin layer of nachos, a thin layer
It's a
of cheese
lasagna, but with just
with nuts.
nachos
Yeah,
and cheese.
yeah. And then I'm gonna sit down with a book. And sit on top of my mech, so not in it, but on top of my mech, reading my book and eating my nachos.
Okay. So you're vibing in front of Hab 3, which is where you guys can all go and get your food and such.
Yeah.
Literally where you all have your quarters. So Kushitaka, you're in there drinking. Louis is out front on his mech, just vibing and eating nachos, which is honestly, it sounds like the dream, really. Okay then. Amaya and Becky, what are you two up to?
I am hitting up Gallant and going to vent.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, I figured Gallant also went with you, so
Yes.
he would have 100% gone in.
Concern mode.
He is very much in concern mode. I figured he would be. I figured he'd also have gone to Hab 3. Like I debated if he would go back to the bio lab, but I think he's going to go to Hab 3 with you guys. The real question then is, Amaya, what are you doing? And beware, you are muted.
Yep. So, Amaya's probably gonna go take the wonderful Oraname bath, so I can kind of regenerate both mentally and emotionally. And I will probably send a quick message. I'll probably send a message to Arctos and Yule, probably in the group chat, and just because I feel like I can't just disappear. I feel like I have to tell my superiors that I'm going somewhere, but I also kind of don't want to be like, we're taking this off planet. Like, so.
I thought we already debriefed them on, like, hey, this is what we found.
No, you didn't debrief them yet.
Okay. So
you debriefed them on what you surveyed the first time.
Okay.
Like this last thing, you have not had a chance to speak to them yet.
Okay.
In fact, as I recall, it was sort of a point of contention between the party as to whether you would at all.
Right.
So.
I'm trying to figure out what I would say. I probably won't send anything just yet, but I'd be sitting there probably thinking about like, okay, if I'm gonna go off world, like what do I tell them? Should I tell them? And then I kind of come up to the conclusion while I'm in the bath that I'll just probably speak to my fellow Voyagers and kind of decide what I'm going to do, but in like what exactly I'm going to tell them as far as my absence.
Okay. So, you are all in Hab 3. It is at this point, it is evening. It was, actually no. At this point, it's morning. You guys got there at night. And you snuck in at night. And then you escaped, and it was practically dawn by the time you guys got out. So it is, I'd be willing to say like 5 o'clock a.m., more or less. So the sun is just starting to make its presence known on Barreldyne, the world that you're currently on. Skies go from a very deep indigo to a soft shade of deep ocean blue as the sun begins to crest over the very edge of the mountain ranges, scattering its light through the atmosphere. It illuminates everything in this very nice sort of like inverse twilight. And I'm going to say that right now, Hab 3, it's not abandoned, but everyone is actually asleep. Like, it's late fucking clock. And unlike most places, the settlement is just a small village. Is there a night shift? Yes, but they're not currently in their Hab module. And the day shift are all asleep. And that top section is basically airtight from the bottom. So you actually have the run of the place. There's no one there besides you guys. If everyone would like to make me an awareness check.
Intelligence. D10. Oh, my D10.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't forget that is tied to your intellect, my friends.
It is that one.
Then it was-
And
Sorry.
No, you're
What was our luck die? D6?
Yeah, your luck die is always D6 unless you have something that changes that. Which I don't think anyone has that.
I think I'm going to opt to fail this because Kushataka is just kind of getting his mind blown open by the implications of a being or creature that can create something out of basically nothing, and what the ramifications of that for him and his whole species are, given that they've been uplifted once.
Yeah. That's perfectly fair. Yeah, Kushataka, for you, your mind keeps coming back to the fact that the last time that the Acris and the Anazali had access to a stellar forge, they made the mantle. And the mantle is a actual Dyson ring. Like at one astronomical unit in distance from the star, Dyson ring. It's so big, it literally takes an entire orbital path. And that is the capital of the Union. And to this day, nothing has ever surpassed it. It, in fact, consumed the stellar forge that was used to make it. That's how much effort it took. And so, just contemplating that level of technology, that level of power, being in a little glowing crystal, barely the size of a human palm, in the hands of you four. Yeah, that's a lot to weigh on your mind. Now I see that everyone has made their rolls. I do not see Paul. I don't see your roll.
Sorry, I rolled physical dice. I can roll electronic dice.
No, that's perfectly fine. Just let me know what you rolled.
8.
An 8. Okay, so JJ, you got yourself an 11. Bon, you got yourself a 7. 7. So everyone here got over. That's good. Everyone here got over 6, except for Kushataka, who is currently just like in the drink. Yeah. Our boy is in the drink. I will ask Kushataka, what do you drink? You drink something stiff, or you drink something like more like floral and pleasant?
Kushataka drinks a stiff drink for sure.
Okay.
This time he just asked for like whatever the roughest thing they have is, basically.
Probably the roughest thing that they have would be Shrike's Ale. That's like the lightest thing. That's the harshest thing you can drink that won't actually destroy your stomach lining. And it's still enough where, depending on how much of it you drink, you're gonna have a fun time on the toilet tonight. Shrike have an iron.
I think he's lying there. I'm just saying.
The Shrike have an iron-based. They have an iron-based biology. So where we're organic, they are metallic, and as a result, they tend to have a lot of heavier metals in their stuff. Thankfully, it's not going to kill you, but it's going to turn your stomach into a playground. Everyone else, while Kushtaka is in the corner over by the machine drinking, and this stuff, by the way, it's like a very deep amber. Like, it almost looks like beer, except for the fact that just touching it, you can feel the spice rising off of it. Like, it's like almost inhaling pepper. Like, it's that feeling of like there's fire just in this baked into it. And it's also served at a pleasant 85 degrees Fahrenheit. So, Shrike live in a very hot world, and all their drinks are hot. For the rest of you, Kushataka is currently nursing this very large, for anyone else, this would be like a tumbler, but for a Shrike, that'd be just like a dainty, like, drinking flute. The only person you all see in the chamber with you all, because at first it seems like it's empty and it's just yours. Then you see on the far side, there's a click, currently snoozing against the wall, like lying on top of its pack, loaded with supplies. And that would be that click that Kushataka had talked to a couple of days ago. The one who was the rec officer, Cogsworth. And they're just currently in the corner, just like softly snoring. But other than that, it's all you.
I'm going to walk in with my nachos, just finishing the last bits of my nachos, like a bit of cheese around my lips and definitely down my chest. Like, guys, we've got a sleeping one. Shh. He might not like to be woken up. What on earth are you drinking?
Just be like, ugh, smells nasty.
It smells practically like honestly at a distance it almost smells like gasoline. Like it's that strong.
Is that what powers my mech? Jesus Christ, that's terrible looking.
Kushtaka, make me an endurance check, by the way.
Oh no.
This is pretty strong stuff. I just want to see how well you're taking it.
Yeah, I want to see
Like-
this before I comment.
This might determine how not how in it you are.
5?
Okay. No, that's actually solid. That's not terrible. So you're not. Some people handle their liquor well. Other people handle their liquor terribly, and after just like one beer, they're kind of already buzzed. This stuff, you handle your liquor pretty well. You're used to drinking. How much you drink, I leave that in your character's discretion. But from the hard-bitten exterior, I'd be willing to bet you've gone to watering holes plenty of times. This
Yeah.
shit makes you feel like you've never drank before. Like you are warm all over. You're not like woozy yet, but it's enough where you're like, oh, if I finish this, I'm gonna be fucked. Like it's not even a debate.
It's a welcome feeling to Kushataka.
Yeah. So go ahead, JJ.
Seeing that he's kind of okay, and he's handling it well, I'll be like, I just look at him and be like, well, it looks like you can definitely party with the Shrike. And then I'm gonna look at it and be like, ooh. Like a ooh. That's nasty. And then I'm gonna look at everybody and be like, well, I'm gonna notice Cogsworth, and then I'll look at everybody and be like, well, I think if we're gonna be heading off planet, you might want to talk to Cogsworth and see if we can get whatever supplies we need off of him.
Shh, sleeping.
I know I'm not. Am I speaking too loud for you? Are human ears very sensitive?
I
don't know.
Like,
Becky's gonna look at Becky. I definitely asked that question to Becky.
Because entertainingly for Louis as a sylph, your senses are very acute. Like your species, the sylph, the world they come from, it's very tectonically active, and your species learned to survive on it by being able to sense danger coming, even through minor tremors and distant sounds. It puts your species into like a near perfect reaction time like state. So your peripheral nervous system is like off the charts. To this day, people are actually still studying the sylph biology to try to improve the reaction time of machines because it's that much faster. So for you, combined with your enhanced senses, yeah, it's kind of one of those like if that clique were a sylph, they would have been up like 20 minutes ago. But to anyone else, you all are doing like the full on like shh, don't wake the baby whispers, and no one's gonna manage that.
I'm gonna walk up to Louis and put my little gelatinous hands over his what I would assume would be ears. I don't know where they would be. Your receptors, your hearing receptors. And then I'll be like, is this better?
Having
But still using
absolutely
the
no
same
idea
volume.
what you're doing, I try and do the same to you. Yes.
Just to
That's
give
better.
the image to everyone out there who's watching, this is what Louis looks like, and this is what Amaya looks like. So, a
We're just like-
jellyfish and a lizard are gently covering each other's ears at the moment.
Why are we doing this?
I'm trying to research. It's for research. Just go along
Okay.
with it.
I'm researching.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
studying your species' capacity for hearing.
We
If
have
this
hearing.
happens-
Gallant next to the
This
two of
cannot
you.
be the best way to research this.
I think it is, though. Just go with it.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you on this one.
Gallant, the synthetic that went with you all to the dig site, is still with you, and over by where Becky and him are sitting. And he just looks up and looks at the two of you and just says, So I was here for everything that you're all talking about up until whatever this is.
We're researching.
I think Amaya had a point though. We might want to tell someone. Anybody, but somebody probably should know about the fact that we need to leave with this. He just looks around the room like at all of you and just I mean thoughts? I'm not anyone's commander. I'm a fucking botanist. I would love anyone's input on this.
She has bosses. We could tell him. Do we have bosses? I have a boss. Do we have the same boss?
The more people we tell, the more people we're going to be condemning to death. Kushtaka says with like a...
At this
Maybe
point,
only tell, like,
your
one
sinuses are actively rebelling against you. Like this is, you might as well be drinking rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, he
for
makes
the
like a face
effect
like...
it has in it.
I'm gonna remove my hands and be like, and look at Gallant and say, I think we should not tell anyone what we're leaving with or the real reason why we are leaving. I think we should come up with something that could, yes, tell them that we're leaving the planet, but not exactly why. I think that's dangerous to disclose that information.
I don't know about your bosses, but my bosses aren't just going to let me go on a holiday for a week. I mean, that's... I don't think can we do that, Becky? Can we just go on holiday? I didn't know we could go on holiday. No, Becky said no.
I don't know if we're going to be able to get off this planet and keep the friendships that we have here.
I didn't like half the people anyway.
Friendship is a strong word.
Well, they're your friends.
Like
I mean, just say anybody that knows anything is in danger, and the union's going to want control over the situation. Only way that we maintain neutrality, figuring out what the best thing for us to do is time. We need to get away from here without anybody knowing where we're going.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
agree.
Sure I want to. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I agree.
Okay, I'm not sure I want to trust the decision of somebody who's appraised how many dead worlds.
Damn.
52, Becky. It was 52.
So you tell me your area of expertise in all of this. Because as far as I'm concerned, the thing only likes you because you're a human. Otherwise, it would talk to you the same way it's talking to all of us.
Which is
In your
weird.
hand, you feel the soft, warm glow of this, honestly not much bigger than a river stone, thing in your palm.
Well, it chose me, so that's just how it's going to be. I feel like Becky's too angry right now. Like, I can literally feel her secondhand anger just being like, I am going to be calm. I am going to be calm. I'm just going to step out for a second. And do I make a roll to sneak off?
You don't have to sneak, like, it's not like a sneaking
Well, you don't
thing.
have to
You're in a
sneak off,
room with 5 people. It's the size of your standard trailer home.
You can
Like,
just leave
I
angrily.
guarantee
I
you-
don't know who's on like patrol, who's around.
Oh, that's fair. No, you're allowed to step outside and stuff. Lights out is for shifts, like, as a recommendation.
Okay.
Like, you all are on your own detachment right now, doing your own work.
Well, I mean,
Technically,
wouldn't they
you're on a task force, so no one's gonna be like, you should have been asleep 5 minutes ago.
Well, I mean, wouldn't they be on high alert? Because we literally just had.
Oh yeah, no, they're on high alert, but they're not going to shoot someone wearing colonial clothing. The people who have all arrived in uniforms and mechs. They've made it abundantly clear that they are not here to infiltrate this place.
Fair.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What do we, even if we were to tell people we're leaving, like, what do we tell them? Like, if we can't tell them why we're leaving, we can't tell them where we're leaving to. Is that even, how many points do we tell them? Oh, bye. That-
No, I'm saying we might need to steal a ship. Or ask the nice robot thing to make one for us, but it's not going to listen to us.
Well, I thought we were riding with the other people. I thought that was the point. So we're going with them
Voyager?
on their ship.
He did offer, and
You trust him?
he
I
sort of
mean-
scrunches his owl face a little bit at that, and the metallic plating kind of approximating like an uncomfortable wince. Voyagers are, depending on who you ask, they're either heroes or they're treasure hunters. And I will say, if there's anyone in the galaxy who would know what to do with this, they would be Voyagers. We're just colonists. That's not our field of expertise. If he thinks we should get off world and he can take us somewhere, I don't know. Maybe. All I know is he could have killed us like multiple times.
Yeah, like he seems more trustworthy than some people who seem to, drink their problems away.
Oh. That's a little unfair, I'd say, but
The whole crew just trying to go in Kuchadaga, man. Just trying to have a drink.
I'm sorry, were you saying something?
No, it's fine. No, say anything.
I think that Louis has a point, or Gallant has a point, that they could have killed us multiple times, and they chose specifically not to. I think it would be fair to at least give it a chance. I'm not saying we hand it over, but I fear that if we leave and we leave without them, that'll be just another. I mean, they already know it exists. They already, I'm assuming, as per their race, probably already know what it pretty much is. I just don't see the advantage of killing us now. or
Also,
bringing us
would
into harm.
we be able to leave the planet without them noticing?
I don't think that we would, to be quite honest. I think either way, if we leave without them, they are going to become a problem for us in the future.
if you guys would like to make intellect rolls, I can tell you above table what your odds are.
Okay. And
That feels like the most reasonable way of doing it.
that's a D10. 1, 2, 3,
So
4, 5.
everybody but Becky.
Oh.
Okay.
I got a 17.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And Paul, what did you get?
What do I add to straight intellect rolls?
In this, it's just like there's whatever. If there's any modifiers on your intellect itself,
Okay.
if there's not, then just the die.
That's fine. Just 9 then.
Okay, so going from lowest to highest, Amaya, your expertise is. Yeah, no, that ain't happening.
oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no.
Your expertise is in many. You're a very well trained negotiator, but negotiation in this instance doesn't really help you know like what protocols are for getting on and off of this world. You came here through very official channels. You have no idea what it would entail to like hijack a craft. Going up to the next person, Louis, your character's a little more well versed in what it would take since you work at the docks. So you see ships coming in and off, like on and off all the time at the slab. You know what it takes to steal a starship. The trick is, starships don't even come down this far. Most of the time it's landers. So you need to take a lander, which are usually protected by the AA guns in the area, which, granted, there's one less of them now. But, you know. So you need to take a lander, get past the remaining AA gun, get in orbit, dock with a ship, which if they're not willing to let you dock, you need to force a docking, which is very difficult. And then finally, you need to get on board the ship and overpower the crew, which may include security personnel who will be armed with firearms designed to not penetrate the hull, but penetrate your flesh. So, it is, space piracy is not impossible, but y'all probably ain't gonna do it. This isn't like this isn't like taking an abandoned jet ski for like a ride. This is basically get into orbit through multiple layers of defense. So the likelihood of stealing one of these things is very low, unless they have a lander just lying around unoccupied, which is possible. And if that's the case, that would get you as far as orbit. After that, you need to flag down a ride. And who knows how long that could be. Plus, you would know for a fact from the bombardment that there is a ship in orbit. And it is owned by the Amber Cross. And it is apparently capable of orbital bombardment, which means it's capable of interstellar warfare. So, whatever your odds are on that, you can do the math.
So about 50-50 round.
So new
there's
plan.
Kushitaka, for you rolled really high, so you would know this much because this is important.
New plan. We get a transport to the other side of the planet side transport. We ask the nice Stellar Forge to make us a ship with stealth capabilities, and then we leave the planet. So we don't have to deal with the same guys that tried to kill everybody here, like yesterday.
Potentially viable.
Again, it's not going to listen to us.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable talking about this without Becky present as
Right.
it's sort of her pet thing now. So
I mean, if Becky doesn't agree, then it's not gonna happen.
I'm sure Becky will agree. She might agree. I don't know. Let's go find out. Becky.
Becky has stepped out as of a couple minutes ago, which is why we're going to take a moment to zip over to Becky.
Yeah.
So, Becky, you're no longer at Hab 3. You're walking towards one of the administrative buildings on the settlement. And at the moment, technically, you're going to be at Hab 1, which it's also not just the administrative building, it is technically also the quarters of the administrators, period. It's dead quiet right now. Like, the security automatically goes like, oh, Becky Booker, local engineering, you have clearance to get in. It doesn't even flag you. Just identifies like, oh, this person puts in the roster. But the lower floor, completely abandoned. There is an elevator in it, so you can go a lift. Calling it an elevator is being really generous. It's a cargo lift that carries people. That you can take that onto the highest floor, and that would be where, at the moment, the person you wanted to talk to is at. So I'm assuming.
She'll head straight there.
Okay. After a couple of seconds of walking, you come to this. It's a relatively okay, like, oaken door. Like, it's actually, again, it's a really nice door in space because trees are very rare, and even on this planet loaded with trees, they're usually saved for things. But you get the feeling this is like one of those affectations of this world has a lot of trees, so they use the material for a couple of things. So this nice oaken polished door, and when you walk up, you can sort of wave your hand over and look like a little bell. And after a second, from inside, you hear, "Hang on, I'm coming." And then the door slides open, and Arctos is standing there. He's not wearing his usual science uniform, the sort of cut down lab coat. Right now, he's actually just like wearing a silken kind of long drape. Which,
I knew he was a dramatic fish.
yeah, like at this point, he's literally just like sitting there. You can see he's got in one hand what appears to be like a charger of some kind, which is probably his morning stimulant. And he just sort of looks at you, blinks his blue eyes. "Ms. Booker, how can I help you? Welcome back, by the way. I'm glad you're all right. Surprised none of you said anything. All that fire, I assumed someone would talk about something. Can I help you?"
We're still a bit shocked. I have some questions if you are able.
"Come on in. Don't mind the mess." And he opens the door far enough for you to come on through. And the interior is immaculately, annoyingly perfect. When he says the mess, he has to be talking about the digital space, because in real life, everything is so neatly organized that even the pencils are at right angles on the table.
You
Like-
just see like Minecraft in the digital space where
Pretty much.
yeah, his storage boxes are just everywhere. That's what he means by mess.
Yeah, no, it is like there's a bunch of storage in here, yes, but it is all neatly packed away in well-stacked square boxes. There's even a table nearby of what appears to be polished glass. And there's not even like a smear of skin grease on it or anything, or whatever material he would leave behind, because synthetics do have to have some traction on their fingers. No, it's like everything's polished. And he goes and sits down at the table, and he walks over and actually, before he sits down, he walks over, grabs a little flute out of a cupboard. You need anything to drink? It's got to be really early or really late for you. Coffee, juice, something stronger if you had a rough night.
Adrenaline's fine for me.
Mm. And he just puts the flute back and goes and sits down at the table and gestures across from him. And you can see there's little stools, little more than just cylinders made out of 3D printed cylinders, but they work. All right, what is it? It's got to be important. It's 5 hours into the day.
What made you take this assignment?
Oh, I see it's going to be a light conversation then, isn't it? And he puts the little charger down on the table and leans back in the chair. I took this assignment because my friend really wanted to make something for my people. Synthetics don't have many colony worlds. And most of the colony worlds we have are relatively barren and lifeless. By design. It's not a bad thing. We don't need a biosphere to support us. But it is nice to have one. So when Geraldo signed up for this, I joined. And when he died, I couldn't let his dream die without him. So here I am.
Becky sort of steeples her fingers and leans forward and says, "And if you had a chance to salvage what was here, in spite of what happened, would you?"
In a heartbeat.
I think Becky's going to take out the forge, what it is, a little orb, the glowing orb.
Yeah, it's a little white glowing orb just hovering there.
And hold it out to him and be like, "Do you know what this is?"
I'm actually going to make an intelligence roll on his behalf.
If he's not intelligent enough, I kind of will laugh. Nat 1.
A nat 1 and a 4. However, I'm factoring in his other mods. Even with piss poor rolling, he would look at it and then squint and look up at you. That's the Stellar Forge, isn't it? The boy's really fucking smart.
Good thing for those mods, right?
Yeah.
It is, and it has recognized me as a user or administrator or whatever keyword I would assume would be put into it.
What?
I don't know how it works. We were approached by a Voyager. A lot has happened.
Wait, a Voyager? There's a Voyager on planet.
Yeah, and...
Are they with the Amber Cross? Or is that...
No.
Okay.
Not enemies, from what it seems.
I doubt it. It's probably the one I called. Annoyed he didn't tell me anything, but I'm glad he's here. At least. Wish he'd make his presence known a little more.
You might have to, now that I'm telling you this, which is kind of the point. If we can use this to help the colony before we take it away, because we can't leave it here, you will be a target, then I'd like to.
I don't know what they're capable of. I have no idea.
Do you still have contact with your Voyager?
He hasn't contacted me at all. I requested Voyager support from the Mantle. I was told that it was confirmed. I have not heard anything else. Voyager teams do their own thing. They operate in whatever capacity they want. Some are loud and obnoxious, and I can't get the fanfare to go down, and others, you never knew they were there. Sounds like we got the lucky draw of the quiet type. Great.
We're supposed to be meeting them. Would you like to be there for that meeting?
No. He holds up one of his metal hands and just... No. No, if he's operating this close to the chest, I trust him. These guys, their job is to find relics and sequester them safely away. To answer crises that normal governments and normal circumstances aren't made to handle.
It just sounds like they operate outside the law.
To a degree, yeah. Technically, they would be, what's the Earth term? Privateers, in the strictest sense. Conscripted. There's very little distinguishing them from mercenaries in that respect, except for the fact that they are tied to the Voyager program, which has its own restrictions and rules. So they have to serve the Union. The Union can recall them and strip their Voyager status at any time. And at that point, then they really are just pirates and mercenaries. That said, for the most part, they really do know what's at stake. If that's what you're telling me it is, and he eyes the little glowing orb down on the table, there's no way that I can stay here. I don't want to be at that meeting. I'll let you decide. I won't tell a damn soul. As it is, the Amber Cross clearly knows whatever this thing is to them, that it's valuable enough to bombard our settlement. So I'm not too worried about what the settlement already knows. We're already in danger. Hopefully, Union Fleet Comm brings someone here soon. If that's the case, they can chase that ship away. We can get on with our business. At least they're not trying to exterminate us from orbit.
Well, hopefully when we leave, and now you'll know why, we'll take the trouble with us.
He just sort of leans back and looks at the thing on the table. Ms. Booker, that's the case. Do what you have to do. On paper, I'll keep your friends on payroll here.
It's been an honor serving with you.
He stands up and offers his hand. I wish I could say the same. And shakes your hand.
That sounds so slighting. Like, okay. Awkward handshake.
He puts down the charger on the table. I'm going to give you this. And he holds up his hand, and his wrist link flares into life, and he taps a little bit on the... thank you, by the way, for that, Scald. I appreciate the posture check. He taps on his wrist link, and he passes you a code, and your wrist link ignites. That's a bypass for the security turrets. Plug that into your IFF, your ship won't be targeted. I don't care what ship it is. I don't want to know.
Thank you.
I will say, if you're going to do it tomorrow, I'm clearing the slab. I don't want any of my people getting caught in the crossfire. And I clearly can't contain these mercenaries. They'll walk wherever they want to go.
That was my hope.
Good luck, Ms. Booker. And
yeah, she'll leave with that, like, nods.
And he'll say, as you leave, and I never heard any of this. The door will close on you. And this is a great place for me to ask, does anyone need a bio break? Because we've been going for an hour. All right. Hand it over to you, buddy.
Sorry, I was muted while I was eating. Don't go nowhere, folks. We'll be right back with more Legacy. Folks, welcome back. Thank you so very much for waiting. Omni, what's happening?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Legacy First Flight. Okay. So, where we last left off, Becky was leaving the chamber. So, did you folks actually go after Becky? Like, leave the room looking for Becky? Or...
I just put my head out the door. I don't know what anybody else did if they followed me.
Becky doesn't like me very much, so I'm probably going to stick behind.
Yeah, that's probably a good shout.
No, because I would have assumed that Becky was just stepping out to get a breath of
Yeah.
fresh air. She was going to come right back, so I wouldn't suspect that she went on the whole fucking voyage. So, no.
Yeah, about... I will say, after, like... The walk would have been about... It'd be about 40-minute both ways. Like, 40-minute total. So, like, you
Yeah.
would have... Yeah, because it's a big settlement. And, like, granted, you can take, like, transit and stuff, but I'm pretty sure Becky's trying to be quiet about it. And there's nothing quiet about even... Yeah, like, rent an ATV is not exactly discretion in a dead, silent settlement. So it's not super far away, but it's like a 10-minute walk. She had about like a 10 to 15-minute conversation. It's about 10 minutes back. I'm adding 5 minutes of like just bullshit time to assume like, you know, tying space shoes or the equivalent, tightening your boots, like whatever it might be. So yeah, it's about more or less 40 minutes until you come back. So would you guys just wait the whole time, or would you step out yourselves to go and find?
I think I'll step out because I did sort of say we should talk with Becky about this, but probably wasn't 40 minutes of conversation for us. So I'd say 20 at tops. So I'm gonna be outside, and then when I don't see her, I'm gonna get kind of panicky because like, oh my god, she's been kidnapped by
She's been kidnapped.
monsters or something. I don't know, like panicky. Becky.
I feel like at this point, Becky, you can come back.
Okay.
Like,
I'm here.
even if it might have been like a little longer, this feels like a narratively entertaining point for you to re-enter.
Oh, Becky, you're there. Hi. I thought you'd been shot or something. So we're just talking about whether or not we should let someone know that we're leaving the planet with the item. I don't know your thoughts on it, but we wanted to include you. And then Kusha Taka has an idea about using it. It's all there's a lot of stuff. Do you want to come in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she'll just walk in. And I have codes, so we can leave effectively without getting shot at.
You have codes? Where'd you get the codes from?
Where did you find that? Was it on a tree? Oh.
I did my job. On a tree? Sorry. I'm sorry. They just grew.
Wait. Who did you talk to?
You're assuming I talked to anybody.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming if you left for a good portion of this conversation and then came back and said you have codes, you talked to somebody.
Make me this is going to be entertaining. So you guys are, one person is lying and one person is trying to derive whether they're lying or not. So that's the case then.
I mean, I didn't straight up lie. I just like,
You're
made you
absolutely
think I was
attempting to
talking.
deceive them. Yes, you straight up lied. I call bullshit. Lie of aversion is still a lie. So that's going to be in this
Sound like my
case.
wife. God damn it. No, it's not. Okay. It's not
I'm
a
sorry.
lie.
That is a personal thing where you're like, I technically didn't. Shut the fuck up. You manipulated someone. You lied. I don't have an issue with your language, Bob. I have an issue with the fact you're fucking. I don't even know a Bob. I'm just ranting for no reason. Anyway,
Lie by aversion is 1/5 of my personality. Okay, let's not attack that.
that's fair, dude. Same.
Okay.
It bugs me so much because I do it to a lot of people.
Yeah.
What do you
Anyway,
want me to roll?
so for you, JJ, you're going to be rolling. This is going to be an opposed social skill check. So for you, you're rolling negotiation. Bond, you're going to be rolling subterfuge. If you don't have it, subterfuge is actually tied to intellect.
Yeah, so +1 because I'm very attractive.
Yes.
Modifier.
Yeah, absolutely. You're very attractive does help you in this instance.
Oh, that
Jesus
was,
Christ.
exploded.
Yes, that explodes.
That's okay. Wow.
It explodes
12.
into a 12.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
JJ, your roll. What was your modifier after that, JJ? So it's +3?
Yeah, it's a because negotiation is like will +3.
Yep. And on top of that, also, you are a negotiator, and negotiators, as I recall, I really wish this thing would stop.
Oh yeah, I have some other shit. Hold on.
Yeah, you do. In this particular instance, I just wish it would open the page and not make my life miserable. But it seems like it's dedicated to doing that today. There we go. Come on, buddy. Here we are. All right. So we're on page 2, going down to the bottom. So yes, you have a +D6 additional die to all negotiation rolls or social rolls made with the intention of good faith compromise because you have the doctrine of accord, apprentices training, and field mediator rules. In other words, your character's really good at this shit.
So I'm gonna roll one more time.
Yep. So you add that in.
So I have an 8.
You have an 8 total. Right now, Bon is sitting at a 12. I'm willing to save this. Unless you re-rolled and tried to roll higher.
Oh yeah, don't I have a moat?
You have like you have 3.
I have 3.
You have 2 base, and then you got an extra one at the beginning.
I know you're lying to me. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll. So do I just roll the roll the
again.
luck dice as well again, or
Yep,
just
everything. The whole pool gets re-rolled.
Can I just roll the 3d6 and then add the 3?
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure we know the first one's the attribute, the second one, yeah, you're good.
All right.
First one's attribute, second one is your luck die, the third one is your mediator die. And then just add the mod at the end, the +3. So I'll just subtract the 1. There we go.
3.
Okay. So that's 8 + 3. That brings you up to an 11.
An 11.
Okay.
Ooh.
That is much closer.
Much closer, yeah.
It still doesn't beat out Bond's. It just doesn't beat out Becky. So what you know very clearly, she's not telling the whole truth. That much, like, absolutely sure. Like, Becky's being cagey. However, you have no guaranteed proof of it. Like, she stepped outside. It's a big settlement. She could have just gone for a walk. She actually has a lot of useful mechanical skills. She might have hacked the system to get these codes. There are multiple ways around it. But you have a not small suspicion that she probably did talk to somebody, but there's enough plausible deniability that you can't pin it down for sure.
Becky wouldn't lie anyway. Like, it's not about to lie. So I don't even know why you would assume that. She obviously hacked, Kushitaka, can't you see if the system's recently been hacked to prove that she was telling the truth? Can you do that? I've seen you out-hack Becky, so you must be pretty clever about stuff.
So Kushitaka looks directly at Becky, takes a long... Who cares?
Little too drunk, I think.
No. He doesn't care.
I feel
you got the codes. Kushitaka does not care how you came by the codes. He is not the kind of person to split hairs here, or feathers.
I feel like you're drinking a lot of that. Are you gonna be? It's burning my nostrils from here. And I can hear the spiciness of that drink. Are you okay?
Becky got the codes. That's what we needed. Who cares how she got them?
I mean, that doesn't
There's
answer
way
my
more
question,
important
but okay.
things going on.
I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna look at Becky in this kind of blank stare, in which my stare lets you know that.
The sus eyes.
Yeah, like the sus eyes, like the and then I'm just gonna say, okay. But then I'm just gonna be like thinking in my head, like, trust is not a very good attribute for this group.
From across the room, you hear Sarah cards to what? And back where he was sleeping, you can see Cogsworth is currently like arms crossed. You actually had him roll like behind the table. He rolled really high for his stealth roll. He's been actually sitting there like this, paddles crossed underneath his insectoid chin, just like listening, eyebrows, like eyelids half leveled, looking at you all. Now, don't stop on my accord. This is just getting interesting.
Becky
Okay.
really wants to pet this floof. She just stands there like, I want to pet, internally.
Right, Kushitaka, you had an idea, but we kind of need Becky's thought / permission, sort of.
Mhm.
What was your idea? What do you think, Becky?
About.
His idea. I know he hasn't said it yet. We are waiting for that.
We
So-
ask the friend kindly if they would create a ship with the capacity for us to leave this planet without them seeing us or even knowing about us.
Do we have enough credits to buy a ship?
I can tell you right now, I don't even make a roll for it. Fuck no. Landers,
Becky-
He just looked in his pocket.
Landers
He's
start.
trying to cover for the fact that he said create a ship.
No, that's fair. Like it's
Oh.
several. I'm just gonna let you know off the top of your head, so all you guys know, the cheapest lander starts at 20,000 current. Starts. The cheapest starship, several million current.
Good lord.
There, it's literally like these starships are kilometers in length and have hundreds of crew in some cases. Yeah, they're expensive. It's like saying, "Can I casually pick up a naval destroyer at the
Let me
local
just buy this
dealership?"
yacht right quick.
Yeah.
Cogsworth, are you looking for new work?
I'm willing to go literally anywhere that has potential for profit, my friend. And frankly, this backwater, it's tapped. And I rather like working with places that are under less bombardment.
We're going to need somebody to keep us alive, logistically speaking. And Becky, to be quite honest with you, I don't think any of us here have that within our wheelhouse. Cogsworth is a requisitions officer. We should consider bringing them if they want to come.
Do you think the
Friend?
friend we're supposed to be meeting will accept this?
I think that they'll
not
do
the-
whatever you
she
tell them
gestures
to.
towards. Yeah, she means not towards the pocket, but like she points outward.
Cogsworth literally crosses his arms. I hope you all know that I literally have bought pornography for about 80% of the settlement. I know all the worst secrets this place has already. You can stop being cagey around me. The only person who knows more about you than me is probably your doctor.
There's a Voyager here, and we are supposedly going with them off planet to take something that probably at least half the galaxy would want to have. And I don't know where any of us fall on any of them getting their hands on it, but I think the one thing we can all agree on is we need time to figure it out.
That's fair. Wait, hold on. Voyager on planet? You mean Norino? You all met Norino?
So, I have a statement and a question. My
Sure.
statement is, I'm sorry, pornography? I didn't know. Oh, that wasn't me. Secondly, who's this friend that Becky suddenly has? Why does she have a second friend? Like, no, all I know about is the dickhead in the orb. You got another friend?
Cogsworth's mandibles can't smile, technically. But he can approximate it so clearly with his facial structure that it's dead obvious even to someone who doesn't know what a bug's emotional state is.
I
And he
was
just sort of
Becky's
like,
friend.
his antenna sort of like curl into like a half heart, and he's just like,
Didn't realize
Well,
we
that's-
allowed more than one friend, Becky, but fine, whatever.
that's better than antenna.
You are my friend.
Okay.
I'm
Alright.
just gonna walk up to Louie and just put your hand right
I'm
over. the-
researching again. Hello.
No, I'm just gonna put it right over the speaker box. Just
Oh.
It's like
don't
grabbing, it's like grabbing the nose of a horse because of how long it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's so long you just sort of like go
We
and like
don't,
just keep it closed,
we
like
don't-
like closing a gator's mouth.
we don't need to
um,
do that. He's not sleeping anymore. I don't What are you doing?
I'm more than willing to go with you all and help you figure this out. If you need some time, I get it. That said, you want off this planet? And you met Norino, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I normally talk about my prior work history. Most people don't like talking about it. But let's say for a while I might have been on a Union starship and worked supplying wreck to numerous Union personnel. And at some points on that starship, we housed a Voyager and his crew. And then maybe that Voyager is in fact Shadar Narito. I don't know why I'm being so cagey about this. I know Shadar. I've already worked with him. Shadar is a showboat, insufferable, and damn near the most loyal person I've ever met in my life.
Loyal to who?
If he's promised you safety, that's a personal pride thing for him. And he's Anazawa. That's about the only thing he's got going for him right now. So, if you want to get off this world in your own ship, I'm happy to help you. But if you want to leave planet and go interstellar, you're going to want to at least fly parallel to him. Also, if what I hear is true, and they have a destroyer on orbit, you're going to want the backup. And that guy's ship can fight.
So now we just need to find that ship.
Well, I think our best option is probably to go with the Voyager. I'm just saying this because while Kushitaka's plan is a good one, I think we're more in a time crunch. How long is it going to take for our friend to build a ship that is going to meet all of our... And I'm going to just feel Louie just... to make...
I'm guessing you're talking about the artifact, right?
Yeah.
Look, I get it, okay? I know. Secrecy, important. Shush. Don't tell the civvies. I guarantee you. I've been hacking this network for so long, I basically see all the things that come in and out of it. Oh, in fairness, I had to manually put a tracker on his computer, but everyone else has been pretty easy. So I know about the artifact. I don't know what it is, but from what it sounds like, it's some kind of manufacturing device. Why don't you ask it? Usually they can give you a time appraisal.
I think we need a true Anazali for that.
No, I think we just need you. It pretty much listens to anything you say, and it's like hates the rest of us, which is fine because there's a mutual hate there. It's fine. It's fine. There's no problem with it.
If this thing is as powerful as we're led to believe, I don't think it would take it much time at all to make something like a ship.
Yeah.
Maybe an afternoon.
I need to take care of as well.
But do we have an afternoon? It's already the next day.
Gallon.
We can use their ship, and we can have our fine, I'll just say it, the Forge, build a machine in order to filter out the water. And then we can go while that's taking care of business.
I like that.
Holy shit, you all really do have a stellar forge, don't you? Damn.
You'd probably figure it out anyway.
I mean, yeah. You aren't exactly discreet. Oh, you are. And he points to Kushitaka. The rest of y'all, open book, but...
What did I do? I feel so offended. I've been keeping secrets this whole time.
he gives you a wink, Amaya. You can't tell if he's taking the piss on you or not.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, is he? And then I can't read it, so I'm like, is he joking or is he serious? Do I need to research my secret protocols? Like, what? It's like having a negotiator crisis.
Negotiator crisis.
I will tell you right now, JJ. As a negotiator, you recognize this guy. What he's doing He's currently engaging in his own diplomacy skills. You weren't trained as much in this skill, in this school set, but at the same time, you recognize absolutely the doctrine of misdirection at work. He's a negotiator too. He just focuses on trade deals. But he's absolutely a negotiator by trade, by career.
I will be not threatened, but I will be slightly like, I can learn something from you, but I also have to kind of have my be on guard a little bit. But I like him overall.
So, he pauses and looks at all of you and then looks over to Gallant. So, if you want me to leave the room for you all to do this, that's fine. I'm not going to be offended. I'll just be vibing outside. You all can talk to your little, your computer, your artifact. Get it over with. Just let me know what the word from it is, and and he just sort of like squiggles his way out the door, just rambling a little bit, trying awkwardly to find a way to close the sentence.
This is assuming we can even get it to turn back on.
Oh yeah, I think you just have to think about it, right? I think Becky just has to think about it, and then it'll register. Amaya's gonna go over to the, like wherever the staircase is, just to kind of keep a lookout for if anybody's coming, since we've got the bottom room or whatever, just to make sure nobody comes in and sees us using this thing.
That's fair.
I'm just gonna
yeah. All right. Make me an awareness roll. Are you trying to activate it, Becky?
jiggle over.
Okay. So, Becky, describe how you do this. You just take it out and hold it in
Takes
your
it
hand?
out of the pocket and like lightly taps, looking for any type of depression or any way I can turn it.
It's a perfectly smooth orb, almost like white marble, but the second you pull it out and hold it in your hand outwards, like you're going to address it, it softly flashes, and then there's a warm glow that extends outwards from it until standing in front of you, as if they were in the room the entire time, is the AI. That strange flickering, almost like crystalline structure unfolds from the orb and steps down from your hand and looks at you with electric violet eyes. Yes, what can I do for you, child of my makers?
Are you doing okay?
Why wouldn't I be?
I do not know if you are expending energy.
None whatsoever. I've resided in this state for several thousand years. A few minutes is nothing.
Fair enough. Can you create something to filter out the toxins in this water?
Pauses and then looks at you, and then looks at each of you, and I'm going to make a roll very fast.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's actually really high, just baseline. Even if it didn't have crazy stats, like that's solid. So it looks at each of you, and there's like a soft vibration through your body from top to bottom, like someone you can feel. It's almost like you're being MRI'd, and then it.
The jelly person.
You feel that too, by the way. Like literally everyone in the chamber, and you can see its neck distends and peeks around the corner, and you just see a flash, and outside you hear, "Hey, what the fuck?" And then it just like retracts its head back in. Based on the biology of the different species in this world that I've been able to catalog given this chamber, I assume there's also additional given the accommodations, and it reaches its hand over and sticks it into the food processor that you all been using. There's a soft flash and it retracts. Metallic life forms, silicon life form, carbon-based life form. Yes, I could do that readily.
Then we should get started.
How long?
The process will initiate itself. I can create a nanite swarm. The effect will immediately spread across the planet, process the mineral into something more useful, and if you wish, I can gather the material into one location, pull it orbitally out from the planet's atmosphere.
That would be appreciated.
Ask it if that includes in the water.
Yes, it should be included.
I assumed you meant the water primarily, as that appears to be the most toxic part of this planet. I also assume you refer to the cobalt as well as also heavy metals.
Yes.
These can be acquired and removed from the planet's atmosphere by the nanite swarm. It pauses and looks over at you, Becky. You should be aware there will be some minor environmental disruption while this process occurs.
Will it harm the life forms currently residing here?
It should not. However, the nanite swarm will be aggressive. The effect will take approximately 30 minutes to complete worldwide. The kinetic forces generated by this, however, can cause gale force winds, as well as also significant static discharge. If you have any settlers you wish to protect, I advise that they move themselves within doors.
Kushitaka, can you initiate a hurricane/weather warning? Force everyone down at a moment's notice?
You want me to just do that right now?
Preferably before the effects would take.
He's like already got his thing open, like looking at it,
Correct.
like with his finger on the button. Like, you want me to do that right now?
Is there a way to slow down the process, perhaps?
The nanite swarm is designed to exponentially grow. It is a self-programmed device. Effectively, the word that you would use if the dictionary I've been slowly downloading out of Mrs. Booker's programs informs me correctly would be engramic. I am programming matter to consume other matter. It is technically not a machine. It is technically a smart matter swarm. It will spread exponentially as it goes across the world, replicating itself. There is no way to slow the process reasonably if you wish it to take effect. If I slow it any further, the entire system will collapse, or increase the likelihood of failure, which, according to your local fauna definitions, would incur the risk of what you would refer to as predator fog, a thing I don't think anyone on this world would like.
No.
What happens to the nanite swarm after it's done its job?
It will consume itself and remove itself into orbit. The effect will not destroy it as it is programmed matter, but will instead move all the material it can acquire of that similar type out of orbit, and when it no longer finds any material in the conditions I have described, it will then extricate itself into orbit and become part of this temporary satellite structure. I cannot tell you how large it will be, though. I don't know how heavily poisoned your planet's atmosphere and water is.
As long as it's not enough to affect the tides and harm the people. I cannot speak. Harm the settlement.
Not to be a stickler, but I think gathering up a bunch of toxic material and launching it into space, where we don't know how big it will be, it may cause problems for other things in space.
If it's thrown into the sun.
Sorry, say that again, Derek. I didn't hear you.
Not if it's thrown into the sun.
Oh, sorry, floaty thing. Can we launch it into a sun?
It pauses and looks at you, and its violet eyes narrow angrily.
Okay, you don't have to launch it into a sun. No, that was a terrible idea.
My designation is Delenray, not fly floaty thing.
Delenray.
And it is imminently possible. Yes, I could create a gravatic tunnel between this planet and the star. I could potentially also create I could feed it into my hoppers. That would remove the material entirely from your world, but these heavy metals would be incredibly valuable. I would imagine you may wish to continue using them, as I can tell you appear to operate off of a financial barter system. Primitives.
That's a fair point.
Primitives.
People here do need
Okay.
it.
You call them
So
primitive.
yeah, we'll leave it for them to harvest.
I can establish it in what would be considered a stable orbital point, a Lagrange point. It shouldn't affect the planet's orbital path, or, for that matter, its own gravitational forces. Would that satisfy your requirements, operator? And it looks at you, Becky.
Very much so, thank you.
Do you have any other need for me?
No, not for now.
It closes its eyes and immediately just shrinks back down to that small orb without the second thought.
Yoink back into the pocket. Zip.
At this point, the door opens, and you can see that you can see Cogsworth poking his head back in. Okay, what the fuck was that thing? Just weird nightmare glass creatures poked its head out and flashbanged me, and that's all I fucking know.
That would be the forge.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm definitely going with you. This is too fucking interesting to leave behind. I was debating it before, but now, oh, hell yeah, I'm absolutely in.
Fantastic.
So now we're going to see our friend.
The Voyager?
I thought that was our friend. How many friends do you have?
I feel like this is a perfect place for us to transition to the next scene. So, I'm going to ask you all if there's anything in particular that you all wish to do before the next scene. Anything you're doing in preparation before you leave the planet, because now, my friends, now is the time for it. This is...
Packing up some clothes.
Okay. So I recommend if anyone has anything they need to do, any machinery that needs serviced, any ammo they want to get, any equipment they want to see if they can trade for, now's the time. You're packing up clothing and any other equipment or anything else you're taking with you.
I will leave the rig behind because I think the colony could use it.
The rig is yours. You brought it with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to cost a lot more to replace than if you just take it fucking with you.
All right, then I'll just take it.
Okay. I normally wouldn't be this bold with you, but like being straight up, that'd be the equivalent of like a paladin saying, "I'm going to leave behind my plate now." Like, I understand the import, I understand the impulse, but like it'd be easier just to leave a fucking manual on how people can operate stuff. So, anyone else doing anything else in particular?
I'm leaving a report stating that this world is not to be condemned.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Is that all you're doing?
Yeah, I'm not telling anybody about it.
Okay. Well, no, I was saying if you were doing anything else in your action time.
Nope.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and speak to Calcifer first, and let Calcifer know that they'll probably be detecting the nanos, and that there's going to be probably a lot of activity that's going to go off on their radar, and not to panic. It's normal, and it'll actually benefit the planet.
Calcifer takes a few moments to process, and eventually blinks its bright orange eyes up at you, and its shapes reform into what appears to be a little like sharp-angled thumbs up before it flips back into its normal state. I will ensure the planet's structures are prepared for the shockwave.
Perfect.
Are you planning on leaving?
Yes.
Oh, a little Calcifer baby.
Would you like assistance?
Yes, actually. I think we've got everything we need, but if I will take all the assistance we can get.
There is a soft pulse on your wrist as Calcifer clones a copy of itself onto your wrist link. And the artificial AI system quickly rewrites your wrist link into a temporary server for itself. And you see two messages. We are happy to come with you.
Above table, I'm so happy.
Yay.
I love him.
Little buddy.
Amaya's just gonna say, glad to have you on board.
Calcifer gives you a little wink and then disappears into your wrist link. And the one in the wall also gives you a wink and disappears into the wall.
Nice. And then I will send a message to Arctos and Yulei and just tell them heading. I mean, I don't know that Arctos knows, so I think he'll help me. But I'll just say heading off planet urgently. New lead on potential to save planet. Boom.
There's a ... as it clearly shows like reading and then typing. And then immediately afterward, you would see, mention nothing of it. Good luck.
Thank you.
You also get a little note. All of you would also get a notification, a ping on your wrist links, which is a form that says it would specifically state that you are all being reassigned to another settlement, to the underwater or Aname settlement of this place, which very clearly is earmarked with a very simple, like, openable file that just simply, it's from both Yulei as well as also Arctos, and it just says, disregard this. It's for paperwork. And immediately, like, you can, so basically they're sorting you're sorting you guys out. You all also would receive a mass ping on your wrist links, a message from, in this particular instance, it would be also thank you so much, Skull. Never drink. It would be from Identity Restricted, but it would clearly be from a Union officer, and it would state, quote, I'll meet you at the slab in 6 hours. This would have been at the start of your time, just so you all know. So you all would have, like, gotten this alert to let you know he's getting ready to go. Anyone else doing anything before we get ready for the final bit here?
So my responses to those two messages, the first one with the new allocation and then ignore this at the end, I read it relatively slowly and I'm like, man, they're going to be really upset once we learn we're leaving because I'm not going to be able to... Okay, ignore that. Well, why said... Oh, okay, on it. Then the second one, because you said identity retracted, I'm really unsure because there's been a lot of phishing emails recently and I don't want to click it, download a virus. Okay, fine. 6 hours. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But in terms of things I'm taking, I'm going to take 4 books. And, like, I have 5 books, but I can't fit all 5 in my backpack. So I'm going to pick... Okay, I'll pick that one. I'm taking a deck of cards. I'm taking a singular wrench. Taking a comb. I'm taking a blanket. I'm taking my pillows from the bed that I've got upstairs.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
Sheets
mine.
and, like, tie them up.
Yeah, you're the dude who like steals all the
Yeah,
toiletries at the
shampoo, yeah.
hotel when you leave, and I'm kind of on board for it.
These
Yes.
are complimentary. These are mine.
These are theirs,
Yeah.
but they're really comfy.
I'm also going to order some extra food as well because I had nachos for breakfast, but now it's gonna be 6 hours, but we're gonna have to eat again. I'm gonna have another burger. I had a burger last time; it was very nice, good. And yeah, that's pretty much my backpack. And gonna make sure my mech is all tightened up and not falling apart. Double check I've got my chainsaw blade, which I'm a big fan of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your chain lash is intact. I assume that after you parked your mech, like, getting it serviced pretty fast. There's actually a number of garages locally in the area that would allow you to very quickly begin to repair things. You literally just take it inside. This is how you're able to get so many, like, you can literally get, like, bikes on call. They have these drone facilities nearby that repair basically any equipment that's needed in the settlement. So you literally just drive your thing into it, program into it what it is, and it'll immediately begin matter printing any replacements that are needed, restoring whatever you might have. So, yeah, no, like, after a couple of minutes, the mech's in good condition again. It's all ready to go.
Yeah, I get in, I pick up the gun that you've given me, and then, start walking over to find Becky and see what she's doing.
Okay.
I will have pizza with me. I will be like, anyone want pizza?
You know what? It's a coincidence, but I do want pizza.
I know you want pizza
Open
too.
pizza. Yeah, we're just open up the box.
A little bit of out of character stuff too.
I mean, yes, but also in character because, I mean, I'm assuming we're all just tired, and pizza is a comfort food.
That's fair.
Yeah, I get to live out vicariously through my character and eat pizza without getting heartburn. So yeah,
Exactly.
That's a big mood, buddy.
I like that. That's the the
that's real
player
power fantasy.
Yeah, that's it. Power fantasy right there.
That's what I play TTRPGs for, folks. The ability to have enough money doing a job that I can work honestly at to buy a home, buy a vehicle, and then retire comfortably while eating well food. Man,
foods that I can't eat in real life.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So sounds like everyone has gotten everything they needed done. So the next couple of hours, pretty peaceful. I assume everyone's gonna be heading to the slab after they get their stuff done.
Yeah.
Okay. So Narino's not at the slab, and like immediately. At least not at first. It's about like an hour before the deadline comes up that you see Narino arrive, as well as also you see Gallant and Cogsworth all arrive as well.
Just a
And
party.
yeah, pretty much. You got like a whole crew here at this point. If I can find it, here we go. It should be in. Why the fuck aren't you here? But yes, the whole crew all arrive pretty much like just sort of waiting, and Narino just sort of pops onto the slab, which I'm going to move you guys to at least see what it looks like here. Should have it pulled up down here, the slab. Here we go. So the under section is pretty quiet, actually. Arctos was as good as his word. The place is abandoned. He has apparently canceled all outgoing traffic today and incoming traffic. So there's no ships taking off or landing here. It's just quiet. And as you get this one last day on Barrel as the breeze blows the trees, eventually this Anazali arrives on the platform and walks towards you in this slick black suit. You can see the staff that he carries on his back. That was also the gun he used the other day. And it sort of waves in this very like casual sort of way. So then, everyone dot their I's, cross their T's, ready to leave the planet behind?
Very just nonchalantly nod my head.
I think we're all just.
Good. It looks at you, touching your eyes, and just that's a human expression. That's not literal. Never mind. The ship should be here shortly. However, you're all going to want to make sure you are prepared. We have discovered that the ship that is in orbit will detect any orbital incursions. So, while my ship is cloaked, I can't guarantee that my lander will be able to evade sensors. Approaching the planet, that will take just a few moments. I've told my crew to get down here as quickly as possible. They are to bypass traditional safety protocols. They will come in using energy shields to ablate the heat. So
I have codes that might help you just so you don't get targeted from our side.
that is very helpful. Thank you. If you'd be willing to upload those for me. And he holds out his wrist link, and you can see it glows this nice sort of like green. He sort of catches the codes as you pass them over, and you can see his wrist link briefly pulses, and he stands up. All right. Our ship will be in position to drop the lander within the next few minutes. I can guarantee you, if the mercenaries are watching, they'll try to stop you. So, get ready. I'll see you all shortly. And there's a flicker, and he disappears completely as you realize he was never here in person. That was actually a hologram.
Slick bastard.
Trust.
So, what preparations are you all taking as I'm going to open the map for you all? Right? If I can get this to move. Here we go. Here we go. You all are on the slab at day.
Putting on my rig.
You're all allowed to drag your characters wherever you like. The ship is going to land in the dead middle, in case that wasn't fucking obvious by the giant targeting landing spot. You are
in the middle
currently...
of that square thing, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
You are all looking at the platform itself is the better part of 50 feet off the ground. So the
Is
entire
these stairs
thing,
right here?
Yes. There's a number of stairs going up from that little side platform. Each of those little side platforms sort of like descend just a little bit. It's like just a gentle step down. It's technically on the same elevation level, but it's just sort of like a safety thing. Likewise, you guys can go up and down on these lifts to the lower level there, and that one accesses this smaller lower access pathway here. and that leads down to the bottom where the actual like structures are underneath the slab. And also, oh, that's right. I need to make your monster grow. Here you go. Here you go, Louis. Appropriate
Thank
scale
you.
for your mech. You're welcome.
Aye, chunky boy.
All right. I will also say, does anyone have any last minute preparations or anything they want to do in advance in case they see anything approaching?
I will send Arctos a message. You guys had better survive.
Immediate ping back. Don't worry about us. Just get off planet.
Going to turn invisible.
Okay. So basically, at the start, at like the second you see something, you're going to cloak.
I'm trying to make sure I remember exactly how my invisibility works.
It lasts for 1 round. So yeah, the way that it works is every time the number behind the stealth, that tells you how behind cloak, that tells you how long you have.
Yeah. So whatever sensors that I have access to in my my gear, I'm just eyes on those, like getting ready to see or intercept the first little whatever, if it's radar, lidar, whatever. Go
Okay.
boop, and start hacking them.
All right. After just a couple of minutes, time passing, you look up, and in the very far distance, you see a bright little light appear in the sky. Could be a star, except it appears to be much, much closer and burning. And after a couple of seconds, you see a much larger, intimidating shape move from the sky. Big enough where it's actually visible through the upper layers of the atmosphere. And in the distance, multiple flares of bright light as meteors approaching much faster than that first one come hurtling towards you. And I feel like that is a great moment for us to pause. If we need one more bio break, this has been a 2-hour mark.
Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with more Legacy. Thank you so very much for waiting. I surely do appreciate it. Omni, what's happening?
Thank you very much, Derek. Welcome back, everyone, to Legacy First Flight, our Fast and Light tabletop role-playing game. And, well, as we last left off, you guys could see the ship that was coming down to pick you up, beginning to descend through the atmosphere. And at the same time, a larger starship in orbit, far more menacing, moved into the upper atmosphere and dropped its own payload of drop pods heading towards you all. So, after just a couple of seconds of seeing these flashes, they're on you. I'm going to say right now, just so you're aware, Kushitakas, I know that'd be the first question, is can you hack them? They are literally just metal. They are just a shell. There is nothing to hack. It is pure ballistics in action.
Okay.
It's several dozen of them, and they impact multiple places around the slab. Not just on the top, but around them. As impacts are made and machines begin to climb out of the debris. If I can get this thing to do its job, hold on. Here we go. The first ones you see are very familiar machines. You've been seeing these things in the employ of the Amber Cross for a bit now. And that would be the MacArthur main battle construct. You guys have seen these things traipsing about the battlefields that you've been on the past couple of weeks. They're not new. However, in addition to a trio of these that land on the ground, one slams into the slab on the top so hard the entire thing creaks a little bit on the impact, as the suspensors on the bottom barely survive the impact. And another, slightly larger structure slams into the ground and reveals a different, newer machine, one you have not fought before. As a charger emerges from it, a Cyclops, a machine built specifically for war by humanity back in its olden days during the faction wars, pulls itself free from the metal coffin that it survived atmospheric re-entry into, as infantry personnel begin to emerge onto the ground, including a familiar hard suit and a large number of troopers carrying rifles, as the Amber Cross makes their presence known. Folks, it's initiative time.
Okay. Agility, right?
Yes, it would be agility for most of you. If you want, you can also... If you want to make me a case for any roll, this is the time to do it.
I'm being sneaky. Can I roll stealth?
You absolutely can roll stealth.
Yay.
That's a fair roll.
Can I roll combat because we're in combat?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So is that my intellect dice, right?
Yes.
Whatever it's tied to. So your combat would be tied to... Yeah, it'd be tied to intellect plus your mod. Okay. So I see everyone's making their rolls. I'm going to get out my little sticky notepad, which I use for initiative. Right over here. And I'm going to start writing down initiatives from everybody. So, let's see. So first off, we have Kushitaka. What's your total roll?
13.
Oh, that exploded.
13. Nice.
Nice.
8.
Let's go.
Okay. Cool. So that's an 8 for Amaya. Next up, we have... Let's see. Bon, what did you roll total?
11.
11. Nice. So that'd be Becky with an 11. And then finally, we have Louis. What did you roll?
I rolled a 6.
A 6. Okay. Now we're going to roll some initiative for these guys. So, first things first. We'll make a roll for the Cyclops. That thing's going to be using its... Yeah, we'll be using that. So, I'm going to make this roll out. We'll see how well you do. Because as I recall, this is a... Yeah, D8 plus 1. So, D8... Come on, mouse. Stop doing that. There we go. So, that's a 7 plus 8. So, that's an 8. Charger is 8. The other ones, the MacArthurs, Theirs is also, I believe, D8 plus 1. So I'm just going to open the advanced dice roller so I have it open. So I don't have to deal with that stupid drop-down menu. Because it's not the menu that's doing bad. It's my positioning of stuff on it. There we go. That's a 7 for that as well. Okay. So MacArthur's are all moving at 7. And then finally, we have the personnel on foot. The Schmoes.
Schmoes.
Schmoes! Schmoes moving to 4. So the Amber Cross Amber Cross infantry moving at 4. And then we finally have the big man himself. Actually, there's 2 big mans here. I have to roll for both of the big mans. So, starting here, we have that one. And that is an initiative of... Oh, wow. Actually, not bad. So in this case... An 8. Jesus, they're all rolling mediocre. So that's the partisan. At 8. And then finally, the big cheese himself. The man in the mech suit. That would be our friend, the big cheese in the yellow mech suit. That's going to be Elias, who is currently rocking... He's not that high up. That's
You
not
should
too
make a joke about how you'll fill him with holes again.
bad. And apparently Elias is going last, as befits command. So, going from the top of the order, Kushataka. You sit at 13. Next, we have Becky. You're sitting at 11. And so it's going to be Kushataka, Becky on deck, and I'll keep going down the list.
Okay, so do you have anything you want to do before me, Becky?
I would probably just use my Seeker Bolt, so whenever you are ready.
Okay, cool. Then in that case, I'm going to try to hack one of those mechs.
All right, cool. So, zooming in, give me a ping on which one of these mechs you're going to be hacking. The ones on the ground or the ones above?
Oh, sorry, they can't see on chat. Whoop. Come on, mouse.
Okay,
please.
so this one down here, this one up here. All right, gotcha. Okay, so that is one of the MacArthurs. As these things clamber out of the metal shells they've emerged onto the planet from, all screeching war horns as loud as fucking semis, and you're going to be making a hacking roll versus their processor.
Make sure I'm remembering all my modifiers for this.
Yep.
It is hacking, which is +3. My +2 for my equipment, and
I believe your equipment also gives you a die as well.
you're right, it does. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, you should actually just like straight up have like an extra die on top of that.
Yeah,
It's basically the
thank
rule
you.
of thumb. If you're a do something like career, you probably have an extra die to what you do.
Dang.
Woo! Spicy stuff.
That is beautiful. That is a grand total of 27.
27 versus a 6. Well, if there was ever a time where I could say you very thoroughly beat his ass statistically, it'd be here. So, what program were you using on it? Because you need to nominate that before you do it.
Yeah, I was going to try to do the same thing I did last time and make him go boom.
Okay. So, I'm guessing that means that you were using the Molotov program on him?
Yeah, just send his whole reactor into Cascade.
All right. So, the roll we have here wasn't a critical failure, so you're not going to be able to do that. But what you can do is set him on fire, and if you want, you could even have him hit himself with his own weapons for his own damage. Basically, cause the ammo packets just to misfire on him.
Sick.
All right. So, that's the case then. How much thermal damage does the Molotov program do again?
I just accidentally did it close.
It's all right, buddy.
D4 thermal to the target.
All right, roll a d4. So, how hot do you make it for this poor schmuck?
Ooh, Lord.
That's a bad day for him.
Ooh,
Oh.
That doesn't.
Whoa!
That's.
Ooh,
Oh
Lord.
my god.
All right, so
There we
that
go.
is 13.
Yeah, that's a
Jesus.
4, a 4, and a 1. By the way, chat, that exploded like 3 times.
Woo.
Sometimes the dice want to tell a story. And that's 13.
They need to die.
Yeah, no shit. I'm gonna go and give this dude. So this would be his armor. This would be his blade of armor, his armor system. This would be out of his. Oh god, I just realized how high above his. Oh god, his radiator mod is not that high.
Let's
So, ooh, boy. This is going to be hot for him. So he's at 16 over +1. So that's bad. Basically, every turn he's going to clear 1 point of heat.
How high do I need to
without
make
doing
him
anything.
to make him go boom?
Oh, that's going to happen this turn. Literally overwhelmed him so much he's going to be taking actual heat damage. It's going to be a phenomenal amount too. So yeah. You literally describe this to me. Describe how you do this. How you do this. You're not blowing him up yet, but how does the effect look?
So Kushataka like phases out of the invisibility now that like everything's around, and he like looks over to Becky like, so now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
His catastrophic wins later.
so his mech
You're-
just like I mean, you can describe what it looks like to the mech. I imagine things are not looking very good for it though. It's probably like on fire on the outside while things are exploding in their
Oh, yeah.
cases.
Absolutely. First off, we're going to do the damage from the actual attacks. He's going to be hitting himself with these. So, starting off with the easy stuff here, because I'm just going to zoom this in, so I don't have to keep zooming in that way. All right. So, looking at our boy, he's got his recoilless cannon. He's going to be damaging himself with that because, you know, you got a recoilless cannon, you got to use it. Oh, there it is. Of course. Stop. Bond can see what's happening. I keep trying to open this, and it keeps trying to open another thing. Where is this other thing? I'm kind of
It
curious.
might be behind your
A dice roller. There it is.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So 2d8 plus 1 damage to itself. It explodes. Of course it does. So that is a total of that's 20 damage base. It has a pen of 4. So its armor is already at its armor is a 13. So it puts it at 9, which means that 9 minus that's 7 damage. So this thing already, like, out of its 40 health, this thing's got a pretty beefy armor bar. It's already a 33. That's before fire resolves on it, and we're gonna find out what happens with that later. That's just one shot. The other one, it has a micro missile pod, and so that explodes.
Yeah.
What the heck?
So that's
Let's
16.
go! Hell yeah!
That's good shit. Wow, you've already bracketed it, so it's already down a layer. So I need to roll on the critical hit table. So level 1, tier 1. Okay, tier 1, no serious damage. This is just armor. But this thing is literally bursting into flames. You can see that its radiator, which normally chugs out a nice steady stream of vapor, is just burning fire. It's like literally just gouting flame. Every one of its servos is glowing bright red, and it's smoking. There's a smell not unlike melting plastic coming out of it.
Main
So
cannon?
it's pretty bad.
Did its main
yeah.
cannon go off yet?
Yes, that was the recoilless cannon was the first thing that exploded. That
got
was
it.
the micro missile. And you can see there's also 2 little bangs inside of its ammo magazines as it's sort of rocked from both sides by explosions. And you can see the little camera eye on top is like spinning, looking for what the fuck is going on.
Oh yeah, so good thing I have 2 of those reactors because I'm gonna go invisible, and I'm just gonna like use my little bird capabilities to just drop like off of this stairwell here to where I'll just glide down to the bottom.
Yeah,
Invisibly.
you can fly, so you can control your 3-dimensional movement pretty much equal to your pace, and falling is free. So, all right, I'm going to give you a little haze to indicate that you are invisible for this round.
Let's go.
So, yeah, you can actually make it all the way down to the bottom, to the ground on the bottom. That's 50 feet down, safe and sound. Oh, are you trying to just get below the lip over here? You mean?
Yeah, I was trying to get a break line of sight and also like just move from where my last known location was because I know that to hack I had to go visible.
That is very fair. Okay, perfect. Alrighty then. So, Becky, you're up. And after that, we're going to have a roll-off to see who's on deck next between Amaya and 2 potential enemies.
Oh boy. Alright, so I'll be using my secret bullets. And let's see, that's ordnance.
Who
For,
will you be targeting?
I will go for, because it ignores line of sight, but I can, I have to move first.
Okay. There are boxes that provide cover over here if you'd like.
It does
And also here.
Oh, okay. You never actually gave me health, like its reach.
Oh, it's reach. I believe it's just line of sight. No, its reach is
It
equal.
ignores line of sight.
Oh yeah, that's right. Its reach is equal to your range in your stuff isn't actually like measured in a range. It's equal to your reactor's radius, to your rig's radius effect. So what is your rig's area effect? Yeah, rig field, whatever that number is.
Field radius 15.
So that means you need to be within 15. You need to be within 15 ticks of them.
Okay.
So to use that thing effectively, you would need to be, and it's not squares. So you would need to be over here somewhere.
Okay, not squares.
Yeah. If you want to hit this guy over here, you can be behind here. If you can get over to here, you'd be able to hit him with like
That's fair.
no
I mean,
repercussions.
he's also kind of literally like
If you did that, you would have to be about here,
here.
and you would be in the open.
Yeah.
In front of
sucks.
mechs and a bunch of
Yeah,
dudes with
that
guns.
sucks.
Yeah.
But okay.
You can also use your action to run, which is literally roll your coordination and add that to your movement.
Okay. I think I will.
Okay. That was fucking sick. I'm still vibrating over here from like the multiple exploding dice.
Felt good.
Yeah, that
It
was
felt good.
insane.
Really
Every
fucking
single
good.
time it exploded.
It was
Nice.
karma
Okay,
for me sacrificing a character last night.
There you go, buddy.
Right.
Absolutely. So that was your attribute roll. Don't forget you also get your luck die as well. You choose whichever one you want. It is an attribute roll. Because that can explode too.
We've been using d6s, but I wrote down it's 1d4 luck. Did we go up a die?
Yeah, it should be D6.
Okay.
It definitely should be D6. Everyone starts at D6. So
Wait, sorry.
you've been nerfing yourself too. That's funny. It's all right. You're good.
So yeah, that is-
All right. So you rolled a 5. Okay. Nice. All right. So it looks like it's a 5 plus whatever your.
My pace is 5.
Okay, so you can move 10 ticks across the battlefield. So you can move. So actually, all the way behind that box if you want. You could like get right there.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Cool. Okay, Becky. So you run all the way over there.
Yes.
That's your turn.
Okay.
All right. So next up, this is the roll off. Amaya, we're gonna need you to do me a favor. You're gonna be rolling your coordination. I'm gonna be rolling coordination over here as well. So you go first, and then I'll roll chumps. So that's a 5. Okay. Versus 5. God damn it, we're rolling off again immediately. And the other guys who are not that good. Okay, so we know those guys are going last. That one's going last for sure. Okay. So then, you're going to be doing one more roll off again.
Okay.
Because we both rolled the same thing.
Yep.
You have to beat a 7. Okay. So we now know the orders. So it's going to be the Charger next, then you. So you're on deck after this.
Okay.
All right. So then Amaya. Then finally the Partisan. Okay. Okay. So across the battlefield, you see the bigger mech that stood up, slowly like crane to its full height, and let loose this loud war horn sound as it then begins to sprint across the top of the slab at surprising speed. It is going to be using its action to move. It's using its action to shoot. Use movement to move. Its pace is 5. However, it also has another neat little ability too. So it can go 5, and it also has a booster system. It can go further. So we're gonna move him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, like how? Oh, of course, that's what happened. It grabbed my mouse. My mouse got grabbed on my table. There we go. Here we go. To out here. And as this thing is jutting forward, sprinting surprisingly fast, and it looks as clunky as it is, it raises both its hands out, and they ratchet upwards, and you can see auto cannons push their way out of the top of its forearms as it begins to fire at you, Super Battle Droid style. And it's going to be targeting. Let's see. I'm going to split fire here. What's she gonna? It would probably target actually primarily you, Louis. You're the one in the mech. That's the thing they're probably most worried about at the moment. So you're in cover for sure. So what's your defense in your mech, Louis?
Let's have a little looky machy. Defense. 5.
5. You're in cover. So that's going to be sitting at 9. So these guys got to hit a 9 to hit. They're not that great at shooting, so we'll see. We'll see if we get any hits here. All right. Let's rolling this out. 1. No. I shouldn't have. There we go. So one of those does hit. So it's the first shot. Second barrel. So this
that
thing
8
raises...
apologies. That 8 did explode. Have we exploded that 8?
It doesn't matter. It okay. Already hits you. It doesn't have any critical effects, but it's good to know.
Okay.
Thank you. That's the only one that hits you, as it holds both of its arms out and just unleashes this chain of chugging sound shots. It's just sort of this chunk, 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 chunk as it fires what aren't normal bullets. Kushataka, you probably would see these occasionally on Frontier Worlds. These are gyrojet rounds. This thing's firing micro rockets.
Oh god.
It's basically got a heavy bolter on each forearm. For the most part, it seems wildly inaccurate as it peppers these boxes with heavy explosions. But one of them does hit you. And let's see what we get. Okay. So yeah, this one is a little spicier than some. So what is your... I'm going to need to know... Hold on. If you can open up for me. There we go. What's your armor?
11.
11. Okay, so it's good to know. So this guy has a pen of 2, so your armor's 9 effectively. It rolled utter shit. Thank God for that. It's 3d6 plus 1 for each rocket. So your mech you get hit with one of these gyrojet rockets, and it doesn't detonate. It just spangs off your armor, and about a foot behind you, explodes. And you can feel the little wave of overpressure wash through you. It's not super heavy, but it's enough to be like, when you've had a firecracker near you?
Yeah.
You get a feeling if you were on foot, that's a lot stronger. Kushtaka and Amaya, you're on foot. It felt like someone set off a grenade a couple feet away from you.
Just, ooh.
That is all of its actions. So now we're going to you, Amaya. You're on deck.
Okay. I love how everything just exploding around me and I'm just like jiggling. He just be just like, okay. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Okay. So I think I'm too far out of range to really hit anyone.
What's the range of your gun? Should say on there.
It's 40.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, 40? That's at the max. What's its short range?
Short range is like 10.
10? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, 10. That's right. It's 10, 20, 40.
40.
So yeah, you are out of range. You would need to get closer if you wanted to use whatever weapon that is.
Yep. So I think what I'll do is this right here a box?
Yes, all of those big square things are in fact heavy cargo boxes.
Okay. I think what I'll probably do... Yeah, because I don't really have anything to attack with right now. And I don't want to use I don't have any of those, any of my doctrines.
You could just move. You can always run, don't forget, with your action if you just want to reposition purely.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to take this move to reposition because I don't
Okay, so you're going to move your pace, and then you can roll your coordination, and that'll be how much further you move. You're basically doing that to get an extra bit of oomph out of your character.
Okay, coordination is a D6. So do I also do my luck die?
Yep, it is an attribute roll.
Okay.
So you're rolling the whole thing. Okay. So an extra 2?
Okay,
so you get to move an extra 2 ticks.
6. Okay. So that would put me like, let's see. I think I want to move behind this box right here. So
sure.
I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, you have plenty of space for that.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'll literally get myself like right behind, like right here.
All right. Perfect. Okay.
And then that'll be mine.
Roger that. All right. So next up, the dude who rolled really poor for the first time in this whole game. From amongst the crowd of troopers, around the corner especially, for you specifically, Louis, from your elevated position, you can see a familiar black-suited creature, vaguely humanoid, clambering out from around the troops, who are giving it a very, very healthy distance. Like, they seem to shirk away from it, as it begins to skitter across the terrain in you guys' direction.
Skittering is bad. Don't skitter.
Yeah, it doesn't really walk as much as it's kind of clambering on all fours at surprising speed. So in this instance, we are looking at... Oh, yes, that's right. It's modified. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And as it's sprinting forward, you could actually see that its skin, its weird, like, skin-like suit, begins to harden and calcify, and you can see it getting visibly thicker as it almost seems like it's growing a shell. Like, literally, almost like growing this thick chitinous plate armor on it as it's sprinting forward. That is its action. It gets to about there. So, next on deck is going to be... Where did I put my... There it is. Okay, so the next person on deck, looking at our initiative order, is going to be the MacArthurs. So, Derek, you wanted to know what you did to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
To that mech you blew up?
Yeah.
Let's find out together.
Woo!
So, for thermal damage, whenever you take a point of thermal damage, you have to resolve it at the top of the turn. And it's equal to the amount of heat that your mech is that anyone has acquired. This happens to mechs and people on foot. Mechs have a way of negating it, so it goes down before any of it happens to 15. So it's down to 15 fire damage, but the rest of it's all D6s. So this is going to be 15 D6 damage.
Do I get to roll that?
If you'd like to, by all means.
Woo!
15 D6, pal.
Woo!
That's
Let's
so
fucking
much.
go!
Wow.
That's 56 damage.
Yeah,
Jesus
baby.
Christ.
Woo!
And this is at the damage type of the creature. So in this case, this would be considered mech damage, so it's not reduced. So we're looking at its total armor as 13. So 13 minus 56. Jesus Christ. I love
43 max
this.
damage. Let's fucking go.
43 damage. How do you want to do this, Derek?
Oh yeah. So the guy's like, as soon as it happened, he obviously started freaking out, and then like on the inside, we see him like jumping around, trying desperately to like make shit stop overheating, and then he's like, "Oh fuck this, I gotta bail." And then he's like trying to like open the thing, and it's like welded closed just because there's so much fire everywhere. And then he's like, "Shit," and then he just goes. Like so big of an explosion, the sky looks dark for just the briefest of moments.
Oh yeah, no. He's fucking dead. Yeah, you can see like the thing just like shudders and moves, and then there's like a as it tries to eject its cockpit, there's a puff of steam, and then just a whew, and it explodes, leaving ironically a crater where it was standing. That's perfect.
Beautiful. Does that damage the other two guys near him?
No, that does not.
That's fair.
They're armored against. They were armored against re-entry, so they're armored against that damage.
That makes sense.
However, that said, the other MacArthurs, now having seen that, all of them turn their attention to what appears to be you guys, and then over the comm you can hear, "No, none of that. The one on top, you're with us. The other two down there, you know your jobs. Get to it." And you hear, "Aye, sir." And then you can see them train their cannons, not on you, but on the slab and the support structure beneath it. And you can hear a chunk, chunk, chunk as the recoilless weapons begin to fire. So they're going to be taking shots at this. It's actually not too hard to hit for this one because, you know, they're halfway decent at aiming against a static target. So, except that one can't hit worth a shit.
Let's go. Let's go!
So
they're too scared.
That's double ones, by the way, chat, that I just rolled. Just so you all know. So the ones on the ground, they might have been damaged by like the heat wave from the explosion, but the overpressure wave did knock them sideways as their recoilless cannons go wide. Their micro missiles, on the other hand, that's going to be a little bit different. So let's see what we get on these. Because again, this is actually weirdly not that great.
Oh,
Okay, the micro missiles are hitting. The micro missiles, at least 3 of them are hitting. So this is going to be a lot. So I'm just going to pool this damage all together. That's going to be 4 hits. So that's 8. Rolling it all together. Okay, so 2 of those explode. All right. That's a fair bit of damage. So beneath you guys, you can feel the entire slab quake as one of the support structures begins to splinter under the force. These things are designed to take vertical force from landing craft. Even an emergency landing can land on top of the slab and potentially be fine. But lateral force is not what this thing was designed to survive, let alone explosive force. And you can hear the ching sound as one of the heavy springs shatters underneath the fuselage. There's still more to protect this thing, but you feel like the entire platform kind of lists a little bit, like a couple of degrees off center. The one on the platform up top here, seeing what happened to the one on the bottom, decides it's probably got the easier job with all of you guys up here and begins to stride forward, its heavy metal footfalls traipsing, and it even boosts forward a little bit as this little bit of energy like spouts out from its legs and almost glides forward like it's skating a little bit. It aims its recoilless cannon at you, Paul. And the micro missiles, it is going to direct at multiple targets. It's going to fire one at where Amaya was and one at Becky. I'm going to roll these separately because I want to see these rolls personally off table. So let me just take a peek. So that's 1. That one does hit you, Paul. That's an exploding 8. So that's already sitting there. Amaya, what's your defense? You are muted as well.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's all right. Good.
My defense is a 5.
Okay. He actually misses you because you're in cover, thank God. But it was close. So that would have been, because of the cover, a roll of 4.
Okay.
So the other one is me firing in your direction, Becky. And that one there was also effectively, that one's actually a 2 effective after modifier. So you're good. Yeah, you're good. It's fine. It does not hit you. The cover alone is giving you guys defensive buffs, which is why I will tell you guys a million times over, get into fucking cover. So the recoilless cannon will be firing at you, Paul. So we're looking at 2d8 plus 1 damage. What's your armor?
11.
11. And these things have a pen on their cannons equal to, I believe it's a pen of 4 for this. So that drops your armor down to, actually, it's not too bad, 7. So you only take 1 point of damage on your mech as you can feel one of these shells zoop, shunk, hits you and rocks your mech back. Thank you, Scald. I appreciate the posture check. But your mech manages to compensate and just indicates minor penetrative damage on it. But it seems to be in a non-pivotal system. You're A-okay. Whew, okay. That could have been way the fuck worse. That was its actions. So those were all the MacArthurs. Next up, we have Louis. You're on deck, pal. What you want to do?
So I'm guessing the big squares are big boxes and the smaller squares are smaller boxes?
Indeed.
So, I'm going to go about here, and I've got a two-handed gun that is called my micro missile pod. Can I rest it on one of these boxes to help improve my aim?
Absolutely, you can, yes.
Now, I've got to decide what to aim at.
I will tell you right now, micro missiles are better at longer ranges. They are designed to be, they have the lock-on rule, which means that their range modifiers are inverted. So you want to fire them at the longest possible range. The closer they get, the more inaccurate they get.
Oh, okay. In which case, I'll aim at this guy at the back.
All right, that's fair. So let's see. What is the... so you're a total of going from corner to corner. You're 15 away. I believe that puts you just out of short range, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that you're going to be rolling this with no modifiers.
Oh, is that what the 230-15 is?
Yeah, so yeah, it's 15 is the one you're looking at because that's short range. Because remember, at long range it's going to get a +2. At medium range, it's going to get nothing, and at short range, it's going to get -1 because of this particular weapon.
Oh.
So
okay.
normally weapons reverse that. The closer you are, the better your buffs get. But for
Okay,
micro
I'm with you.
missiles, they're guided munitions. The further they fly, the more accurate they get.
With you.
So you just get to roll your attack with no modifiers besides your base rolls. This is gonna be an ordnance roll. And I believe it's lock on, is it 3 or 4?
4.
You get to make 4 attacks with this weapon.
Oh, good me.
Yeah, it's a lot of shots.
Yeah, it is. I've never used this weapon before. What am I rolling to attack?
Ordnance. So you're gonna roll 4 ordnance rolls.
Ordnance.
So just roll them one at a time, basically.
I can't see ordnance on my character sheet. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's under your disciplines.
It's
Assuming
it's on my own page. That's why I can't find it. Okay.
Yep, that'd be why.
+1 intelligence. Okay, intelligence is a D10. That's a D10.
Yep.
I'll roll it on the computer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, exploding!
One of those definitely exploded. Let's see. So what's the total modifiers you have for this?
+1, I think.
+1, and you're shooting at the MacArthur, right? The one in the back. Over
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the one back there, looking at the MacArthur stat line, it's not particularly good at dodging things. Yeah, you managed to hit 2 of them. So
Woo.
you're gonna be rolling damage against this, buddy. So I
Okay.
believe for this it is 2d6.
3d6.
Oh, that's right. You got the upgraded one. So
I
yeah,
do.
3d6 damage. And what's your pen?
2.
Okay, cool. So that means they have a so they're gonna be their toughness is 11. So roll damage. It's gonna be whatever you roll minus 11.
Okay, so I roll the first set 3d6. 14. Minus 11 is 3.
Okay, that's something for sure. That's
Second
3 for him first.
Second set of 3d6 is 15. Minus 11 is 4. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. So considering these things are normally like anti-personnel weapons, that's pretty solid. So that's 8 damage to this schmuck. So he's looking at a total of 32 out of his 40. As you have dinged him multiple times. So these missiles, as you fire them, pew, pew, these things fly up, spiral upwards. And then as they get into the air higher, you can see they suddenly adjust their course and just almost at like right angles to the ground, shunk into the ground and hammer this thing from the top. So yeah, well done, buddy. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
What's this? And okay. So did you want to shoot anything? Do you have anything else you wanted to do? I think that's all your actions. I don't think any more guns.
Yeah, that's it. That will do me. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, then. So we're finally onto the last 2 schmucks in this fight. All right. So going from the tippy top, we have schmoes who are all moving in waves just to keep things easy. These guys all begin to sprint out. These riflemen all begin to move out in well-ordered, hustling motions. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I made the roll a little bit ago. And these ones over here, gonna both advance as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this dude over here is gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they're all literally just going to sprint to keep up with each other in this large amorphous squad as they're all running. They're running full tilt. They're not even firing. They're just using the big mechs as cover. Elias, on the other hand, in the back, he's going to move a little bit more patiently. And you see his hard suit clambering forward, and as it does, you can see what appears to be a familiar weapon on his shoulder, a weapon you now are firing at them, popping up onto his back. So that's, for him, his pace is actually pretty decent. He's got that's right, he's got float wing. I forgot. So yeah, he actually leaps off of this box and sort of gently lands on the ground. And as he does, you can see this multi-missile launcher pop on his shoulder and phew, fire off a cloud of micro missiles as they go flying in various directions. So let's see. We're probably gonna be putting these. I feel like he would fire again like one at everybody. So each of these is going to be going for one of you. So we're going to start with you, Louis, since you're the most obvious target for sure.
They don't like us.
I would hope not. You've been killing them this whole time. So what's your defense again?
5.
Okay, so yeah, that one does hit you. So Louis, you've been hit. I'll go down the list. Amaya, that one actually is going to hit you. That's a 10 base. And then over here, Bon, you don't get hit because of the negative modifier from the cover, which is good. Okay. So now we're going to be rolling that damage. So it's going to be 2d6. Actually, it's 3d6. 3d6 against you, Paul. I believe your toughness is 11.
It is indeed.
So that means that it's just the pen that will apply here, which the pen on this thing is actually just a pen of 2. So you take 2 more points of damage as one of these missiles just sort of, again, up in the air and then shunk strikes down into you. And it's less of an explosion, almost more like a javelin being thrown at you. It's like pure penetration force. This next one's going to be against you, Amaya. What is your toughness?
I still don't know what my toughness is because it still says
Should be in your...
It still says 6 dash and then parentheses X. So I don't know what the X is.
Because you're wearing armor, and we never calculated your armor. As I recall, you're wearing a combat harness. So
I have an atmosphere security plate. It says AV plus 6.
Plus.
I don't know what that means.
That means so it's plus 6 to your toughness. So whatever your toughness is, that's what the X is supposed to be. It's you add that in, and that's the total, like whatever your toughness plus armor is. So that means you'd be at 12, I believe, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So that means you're tough as fuck, actually.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking
You're a jelly
useful.
baby. You just
I'm
go,
a jelly
"Ooh."
baby. I have to be tough. It's hard out here in these streets.
So your toughness is effectively 10 after mod, which means they didn't even damage you. It just bounced, like the shells strike your armor, and
I
your
just
armor
jiggle.
resists it. So how do you describe them, like just not hurting you at all?
I just ping and I'm just like, that's not nice.
It'll be like the
Kill
dough
you
boy.
Be like, Elias,
very-
I thought we were friends. I tried to tell you to run last time and you didn't take it. Now I have to kill you again.
Again.
You all have very weird perceptions of relationships in this game.
My jelly baby is so naive when it comes to like social relationships. So it's just like,
I thought we were friends. Literally shot at you last time. Kushitaka, it's your turn, buddy. Becky, you're on deck.
Gonna try to hack again.
Yep,
This
your
one this time.
invisibility wears off.
Indian.
And you're going to hack another one of the MacArthurs down there?
Oh,
Gotcha.
no. That's the opposite of what I needed to roll.
Well, let's see what they get, because, old mechs have a lot of great qualities to them. But powerful processors is not one of them.
I still got him with an 11.
You did. You need to remember, what command are you using? What's your program?
Molotov. I'm trying to.
Molotov. Okay, so send him on fire. You successfully set him on fire. That's all you're going to get, but that's what you'll get. So how much thermal damage are you doing to him? Oh, no! Oh, no! It's happening again! That's 15. Again, chat. That is he's rolling a d4, and it explodes because of the system. It's a 4, and a 4, and a 4, and a 3. Jesus Christ.
oh my god, I'm crying.
Oh my god.
It's meant to be a hacker, dude.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's 15 heat. I'm going to go invisible again, and I'm just going to drift off the slab. Again, just moving away like Batman.
Okay, yeah, you just glide off the slab.
Turn
And,
invisible.
are you going all the way down to the ground, or are you hovering? Because you can.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to see where I was, so I need to move. I'm going to
Okay.
move and go invisible. Just kind of.
Okay, you're schmoovin'. I got you. All right, schmoovin' and invisible. God damn it, Derek.
This is amazing. I'm so happy.
I'm really pleased with how this is working out, but like, oh my god. Okay, so Yeah, yet again, another of these mechs just boom, like bursts into flames as its exhaust goes from light vapor to igniting fire, and literally so hot that the sand beneath it is beginning to melt to glass as it's trying to process all this heat. Holy
this is
shit.
amazing. Holy fuck.
Becky, you're up, followed by the Charger.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm gonna do Seeker Bolt into the nearest dirt.
All right.
Literally right in front of the box. Yeah.
Roger that. So, Becky, looking at your character
I'm
sheet.
going to use a mode to reroll that.
Okay, hang on.
Oh, nice.
So, let me just take a look and see. So, you're shooting dudes on foot. You're using the Seeker Bolt, which, okay, when you know, ordnance attack against any target within field radius and ignores line of sight and no cover. Okay, unless they're directly adjacent to it. Okay, cool. So, looking at that, and I'm assuming you're shooting this dude here.
Yes.
Okay, he's under no cover whatsoever, and he's literally sprinting across open ground. This would be D-Day if this was a hill, but it's not a hill, so it's just slaughter. In this case, you do actually manage to hit him. You actually would have hit him with the first roll too. So you're good. I'll let you take the moat back if you'd like.
Okay, I will. Just
So.
in case I die, or you know.
Yeah, you
if
didn't
I
roll a
stand-
critical failure, which is both dice rolling a 1,
Okay.
so you're good. So you get to roll damage against this poor guy.
All right, that's
It's 2d4.
AP minus 2.
Okay, roll it out. I've got his stat block right here. I'm expecting. I don't know what I'm expecting, but I'm expecting something. There it is again. D4 is doing their job. Okay, so that is 9 damage, AP minus 2 on this dude. Well, that's actually really funny. Becky, how do you do this?
Nice.
Yay.
Oh, yeah.
Like, peeks out from the box, enters in coordinates for her rig, and then just lets it loose.
Yeah. So Becky, your rig is a particle physics rig, which means that your mech manipulates charged particles to create constructs. So as you program this in, the electricity sort of arcs off the back of your rig, and you sort of levitate for a second. There's a flash of blue light as your rig creates this little series of lines, and almost like a monofilament printer, prints out this thing out of hard light, which then whips up over the top of this box, and then at 90-degree angles flies down, and this guy running across the field just gets to look at me and go, "What the fuck is?" And then just
It's a Zelda sprite.
pretty much, except that it goes right through him. Like, you see him just go straight through the thickest part of his chest plate armor and out the other side and just dissolves into nothing. As the guy just falls to the ground mid-stride, like, just completely dead. You basically replaced the whole area where his heart and lungs are with air. So he's gone. Well
I'm
done.
just crying. Crying behind her. Like, I didn't want it. Stop coming.
He's gone. The other one down there exploded, so there's no reason to put an X on him. He's just gone. So he falls to the ground. Well done, Becky. Are you using your movement or anything to get out of the way, or you still have your movement after all?
I'm still in cover.
Okay.
But yeah, I might shift just slightly more behind it.
Okay, that's perfectly fair. Alrighty. So next up, the Charger, the big boy, the scary man, the scare bear. All right.
Scare bear.
So, as this happens over here, the big guy over here begins to again move forward. 3, 4, 5, 6. And in addition to that, he gets to scooch a little closer. Not a lot, but just a little closer. 1, 2. As this guy is gliding towards you at great speed, and you can see this bright red optic fixes on you, Louis, as it brings its hands out like it's getting ready to wrestle. It is actually going to, at this point, I'm going to see if I can push him and see if he can get a little bit of extra power out of his reactor. So we'll see if this works. If I roll successfully on this, he does. So he does get to boost a little further. So he gets to literally fly in, and I'm just going to bash this box out of the way. You guys are so big, you can basically move the terrain without really trying that hard. He slams into you, and he's trying to tackle at you. So let's see if he manages this. So we're
That's
going
really
for-
annoying because that was going to be my plan against him.
All right. So as this guy's sprinting in, he's going to be making his base tech. This is combat might, which means it's output, which means, oh god, he has a really high roll for this. This is where he's really built for. So what is your defense?
In my mech, it is 5. Yeah,
The first
5.
one hits, and the second one also hits. As he
Wow.
literally runs in and brings these 2 heavy manipulator arms. They're really not even like hands. It's almost like a crane.
Yeah.
And it just sort of runs in and grabs and begins to like squeeze down and try to damage your mech. So it's going to be output. So that's that plus d6 damage. So it's this plus a d6. So that is a total of 21 damage. What's your with a
Armor
pen
is
of 2?
11.
So that's minus 9 to this. So that does total 21 minus. Oh, that's not too bad. That's just 2 points of damage. Your armor's holding tough. Let's do the other one.
While I'm being beaten up, where is my mech's health points? Because I don't know where I'm looking for that.
Oh yes. Okay. So that would be equal to your armor. So whatever your armor value
okay.
is, that's
Right,
what it is.
okay.
So what's your total armor?
11.
Total, isn't it higher than that?
It just says armor, semicolon, 11.
Oh, that's fucking wrong. It should be 40. So there you go. You're not that bad yet.
So every time you've asked me what my armor is, am I supposed to say 11 or 40?
Sorry. Oh, that's
They
right,
are
'cause, yeah,
very different numbers.
sorry, there's 11, or this is the damage chart is what I was asking about. Sorry. So it'd be your
Right,
damage
okay.
chart. So that's 40, right? Your damage is 40, your total damage?
I don't know
believe
where
that
I'm
should be
looking
40.
for that. That's what I'm asking.
Okay, so I'm taking a look. That should be a
Oh,
Louis-
damage chart. Sorry.
Yeah, your
right in
damage
front
chart,
of me.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, you're good.
20
20,
slash
actually.
50. Yeah, 20.
Okay, so your highest is actually 20. Okay, so it's out of 20. So in this case, you're at 14 right now.
Yeah.
Total damage to your mech.
Yay.
You have less health than these guys do by a leap and a bound. You seem to do a lot more damage. So
Good,
Thi-
good.
yeah. So this guy clamps onto you, and you just hear the metal fatigue in your mech as it begins to compress your mech's arms and literally like squeezing them, and you can hear the sound as the metal begins to creak under the forces. Envy, you're actually pretty close to it. Yes. So that's all his actions. At the moment, we are now on to. I keep moving this. Here we go. I'm just going to put this over here so I can reference it more readily. Okay, Amaya, you're up. After that is the partisan.
Perfect. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move and try to get closer to Becky over here. So I'm going to roll another d6. Oh, so it's only one.
Oof.
Okay.
Yep.
So I get
You can re-roll that with a mode if you'd like. If
no,
you
because I
it's
feel like
justified.
if I I think I'll save my reroll.
That's fair.
Okay. So let's see. I have 4, so that's 5. So that'll be what? Oop, hold on. So that'll be what? 25 feet. So
That would be however many ticks. So just literally spare. Look for the squares. Don't look for the feet. It's the number below.
2,
So
3.
I wish I could fix that,
Whoop.
but it does it forces you to measure in feet, which is kind of silly. What
Yeah,
about if
hold on.
I was British?
Let me. Okay. Wow, computer. What is happening?
Let's see what you're trying to
What
do.
the
So
fuck,
you can go
man?
6
What
squares,
the
I
hell?
believe. You can go 6 squares, right?
When your computer, 5.
5. Okay, so you could get all the way down to down here.
Yeah,
Which
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can get right here. So that's where
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Right there.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna go there first.
All right.
So boom, I'm there, and then I am. Damn it! Still out of range of. Oh wait! No. Okay, that one's in range.
Yeah, it's because remember it's squares, not feet that you care about.
Yeah. Okay. So that one's in range. So I'm gonna go ahead and target this wonderful person right here, this mech. Because that's the only thing I can do.
All right, that's fair.
So I'm going to use my concussion rifle.
I forgot you had that.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, by all means. So you're going to be rolling your ballistics to hit with that.
Yes. My ballistics, which is coordination. So that
Yep.
is
So
a D-
coordination roll plus your ballistics modifier, and anything else you might have in your in your other abilities that might make sense to add. But I don't think.
So I don't think so because I was looking at gunslinger, but gunslinger is only for hand cannon or magnum, though weapon types. So
Correct. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna. It's fine. And then my luck. Do I also roll my luck?
Yeah, you'd be rolling your luck. It is it is a roll. It's an attribute roll. So remember, attribute die d6. Take whichever's higher.
Okay, so
And
coordination.
don't forget you add the mods to both.
Okay, so ballistics is coordination +2, so that is a d6 +2.
2d6 plus 2, basically.
Yep.
And now we see.
Oh my god, if this thing could freaking work, that would be great.
You're good.
I freaking hate roll 20. Get your shit together.
It wouldn't,
God damn it.
it wouldn't be roll 20 if it didn't cause a lot
Oh
of
my
havoc.
god, I hate
I have the roll
this.
for you here if you want me to click the button for you. There you
It's
go.
just being dumb, and then my d6. Okay.
Okay, so you
5.
do actually hit. This thing is not very dexterous. It's a giant robot. You're literally shooting the side like a barn door, basically. So yeah, you hit it. So you're gonna be rolling damage now, and then
Yeah.
we'll apply whatever's in the notes of your weapon, which I will go down to because
So I
know
have
what's
I
gonna
have
happen.
slam. So I have
Fuck
2d6.
you do.
So damage is 2d6 +2, and then I have a slam d6.
Okay. Yep. It has also stutter 2 and
Stutter 2,
non-
yeah.
Okay. So the way that this works is you're gonna roll your damage.
Okay.
Your damage against a mech is halved. So whatever you roll, then cut it in half. So but that the slam applies like normal, so that's gonna be really fucking funny to watch.
Okay.
So roll your damage. That's going to be equal to 2d6 plus 2. So literally the same roll again, just 2d6 plus 2.
Let's see if it doesn't. Okay.
Well, and that explodes. So it does keep
Yay!
going. Y'all be rolling fucking hot today. So that's 14. So 14 has a pen of nothing because it's a concussion cannon, of course. It's like literally shooting someone with a sonic gun. So that's 14 total. Halved is 6, so this thing doesn't take any damage, unfortunately. But D6 slam, roll a D6.
Yes.
God damn it.
Yes.
So, okay, so that doesn't
Nice.
explode. That die does not explode. But
Oh,
that's still max.
that's funny.
So it's going to go 6 directly away from you. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh dear, it appears to have fallen.
yes,
yeah.
that was what I wanted.
Oh yeah.
So this thing slams back as the shockwave hits it and lifts it off the ground. As this thing's energy pulse hits the air, reacts with the air, and compounds the force until you literally see this thing's optics just turn to look at you, and then you see a wham. And even though it's not damaged, it gets slid across the ground, leaving behind a groove in the slab with sparks coming off the legs before it just hunk off the side and lands below with a loud crunch. It does not take damage as mechs are designed to survive falls from orbit. So this thing sort of lands on its feet, but you sufficiently pushed it off the battlefield. Oh dear, it might have to climb its way back up like King Kong.
See you later.
Well done. Okay. So, next person, ironically, is the other dude up here. Nimbly Pimbly Sneaky guy.
Oh my god, I hate him. He gives me the creeps.
So this guy watches this mech go sliding off and begins to sprint towards Louis.
No.
Fuck off,
And-
everyone.
Everybody's calling Louis. I'm trying so hard to help.
Right now, there's really only 3 targets, and Kushataka is not one of them because
Yeah, no, I get why you're attacking me. It's fine.
I'm so squishy. I do not want to hear anybody tell me shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You are AC tanking this encounter by being invisible,
Yeah.
basically. So okay, this guy sprints towards you, And as he does, you see him leap up. And as he's in midair, his arms shift shape. You can see his hands actually solidify together. And the black latex-like texture of his suit covers him and extends out into what at first appears to be a large spike until it splits. And it's almost like it's this giant, incredibly long hand, like spider legs, but almost like 4 feet long as it's reaching into midair to attack at you.
Terminator 2 bullshit is this? What the fuck?
I'm so fucking scared, bro.
T800 coming in here, like Jesus.
So this is going to be, all right, so this D4 plus, it's D10 plus 4 to hit. That's a 17. I think that, why is that 2? Hold on. That's not right. There we go. That's accurate. What's your defense again? It's 5?
At this point, I don't know. 5, I think, yeah.
It's 5, yes. Okay, he does hit you. Now for the damage, which is going to be halved against you because you are technically a mech and he's on foot. So good for you. So that's 2 of these. Yes, his power is... Oh. Yeah, okay. I was wrong about that. So it's going to be D20 plus the base stat, which is plus D10. So it's this plus D10. Jesus Christ. Oh, he wants you. So that's 17.
39.
39.
Carnally?
39 divided by 2. Honestly, with that level of verb, hard to tell. And your armor on that is 11.
Yep.
Which minus 9. So you take 10 points of damage after reducing it in half for you being a mech after your armor. As this guy's claws actually managed to snake through one of the grooves in your armor, and you just hear this wrenching sound as it almost like it's growing roots through your mech, and you just see like grooves opening as fingers at odd angles punch through plates and begin to spread them, literally tearing parts of your mech apart.
I really don't like this dude. I don't think I was here the last time we all faced this dude. I don't like him.
We managed to sneak past him, so we have no idea that any of these things are possible until now. This is our first time seeing this.
10 out of 10. Do not like.
Okay, so because of the fact that you have suffered multiple damage points now, you are on your last bracket of damage. He's managed to bracket you 3 times. First one doesn't do anything. The second time you need to roll a d6 for me, so roll that for me fast.
Oh god.
D6. 1.
Yep. Okay, so that means he's damaged the servos in your legs. So that means that your pace is currently halved. You're gonna be down to 2.5.
Where's our spaceship buddy?
It's coming, trust me. And then
We just want to leave.
You're gonna be rolling a d4 for me now. Next for this next damage.
What a roll for you. Keep taking stuff away. 4.
Sorry. 4. Okay, so this thing, as it's carving into you, you see that one of your mech's hands just jars open as he damages the hydraulics within and the electro motors, and your missile pod clangs to the ground, your right arm disabled. So you now have one hand free for combat. Just be aware of that. So you had to drop the 2-handed weapon.
That's fine.
That is the last result. The final one is going to be if you go down to 0. So that was his attack. As he leaps up and just clambers onto you, and as you're getting close, and like you can see he's like inches from your cockpit, you can see this like very uncomfortable sound coming from underneath his helmet. Like not even the sounds of exertion, just this weird clicking sound.
I really hope it's a self-destruct bomb.
Finally, the MacArthur's on ground. Well, buddy, you're down to 14 now. Thermal damage on you. That's great.
His guns didn't go off, by the way.
You're right. No, his guns did not go off this time. I will do that very shortly, but we'll see if it's even fucking relevant.
Okay.
Chat, that is a total of 64 damage so far.
And he's got to fucking explode 5 of the 6s.
5 d6s exploded.
Oh!
4 of those d6s exploded, so we're at 64 plus 26. I was literally doing
90.
math over here.
Oh my god.
So we're at 90 plus another 4 d6.
106 plus
Still not
another
done.
2d6.
2 more dice exploded. So.
Oh my
plus
god,
7.
113 damage.
113 damage, even factoring in for his armor.
Oh my god.
If it's all right, I'm going to take over this one.
Fine by me, buddy.
Okay, so
Good lord.
you guys normally mechs don't actually detonate like this. Normally they just are designed to critic. One. Okay. Normally they aren't meant to, like, when they're destroyed, they're designed to be destroyed safely so they don't destroy anything nearby. However, there's a rare instance where a mech's reactor well and truly goes critical. And when it does, the explosion is significant. That mech has been sitting on at least 4 energy, which means that it is currently, based on its reactor strength, because this is actually its reactor going critical. Oh god. Okay, so it's gonna be fun. So this is gonna be 4d6 range on this thing, going
Oh my
explodey.
god.
Oh lord.
It's a
Oh my
15
god.
reach.
I'm safe.
You're safe, yes.
Barely.
You guys are safe. Don't forget it's vertical distance. So the bottom of this thing is protecting everyone on top. Everyone down there is gonna have a really bad day. Oh god.
Like right in your face.
Cool birds don't look at explosions.
All right. So this is a total of, oh god, this is so toxic. 4d20 plus 4 damage. One of them explodes. So it's 73 and a d20 explodes. Wow. Wow. I don't
God,
even
bro.
know.
Damage. Holy
There's a
shit.
flash and a sound like sucking, and then a boom sound all at once. And for the briefest of second, a light brighter than the sun. Everything else becomes dim. Fish talk, you actually do avert your eyes for a second. It's literally that scene from Call of Duty with the nuclear explosion in the back, and you literally have to look away for a second. As the explosion glasses the area around it, and an
Oh my
overpressure wave literally blows trees down nearby. As this force blasts away. Kushitaka, make me a coordination roll for just the shockwave of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
As this flash wave of heat and light dissipates quickly beyond its blast radius, even though the concussion doesn't.
Any other modifiers or just luck?
It's just luck. Just luck for this. As literally, by the time that you're done, you're good.
Oh yeah, I literally fucking just catch that wave and ride. Can I just like ride that
Absolutely.
back up to like
Yeah.
the top of the stairs here invisibly?
Honestly, at this point, why the fuck not? Go ahead. I don't mind at all.
Gosh.
As the mech where it once was, there is a 30-foot deep spherical crater where it was standing. And the other 2 mechs that were standing nearby are just glass statues, molten and dripping with metal. And the force of the explosion was so extreme that the entire slab creaks almost 20 degrees off its angle with a spherical bend in it where the explosion hit it. This thing is nearly indestructible and you still manage that. Yeah, no.
I want a title for this.
I feel like you achieved, like, if I had some kind of like Xbox sound effect, like it would give you like, you know, achievement unlocked, killed 3 mechs with 1 stone. Honestly, I feel like the mech on the MacArthur on top literally was gonna do something. And then that happens. And all you see is just its camera turn to look over the edge. You could practically see the sweat that would be running down it if it was a living thing. It just takes a step back.
He just gets a little message. He just gets a message on his HUD. Says, "You're next."
If a mech could make a concerned meme face, it would make it right now. Well, that's the MacArthurs. Next up, Louis. It's your turn, buddy. You appear to be locked in combat with the squishy guy on foot.
Yeah, I did have a plan, but Derek decimated the plan, so that's absolutely fine. Your idea was better than what I was going to do anyway. My 2.5 movement speed, but my mech can fly, right? It can go up.
I don't know. If you did, you would have a booster. I don't think you actually have. Yeah, you don't have a booster system, so you can only walk.
Okay, that's fine. In which case, then I'm just gonna get my chainsaw blade out and try and get this bug off my windshield.
All right. You can go ahead and make an attack with your free hands. You have currently one, so you get to
Yeah,
make one
that's fine.
attack with the chain lash.
Cool. And I roll the thing from before for that, don't I? What was it? Ordnance.
No, for this you're gonna be rolling combat, and you're gonna be. What's your combat tied to? I believe it's coordination.
Intelligence, and it's a +3.
Oh, it's intelligence. Okay, yeah. Then just roll your intellect.
Which is a D10 and a D6, and we're adding 3.
Yep, and you take the highest.
Yeah. 11 altogether.
Oh, that definitely hits him. You're gonna be
Sweet.
rolling damage now, my friend, which I believe is your output. So that's D20 plus 1 plus 2D4. Because it's a big, scary gun.
20 plus 1 plus 2D4. 20.
Yep.
There's a 10 plus 2.
So 10 flat.
Practice shoot. Move out of the way. 2D4. Boom.
Okay.
Oh,
so
come
that's
on.
12.
Yep.
That's 12
11.
damage.
11 altogether.
11 altogether.
No, so sorry. 13.
13.
It's plus
13
1.
damage
Not
altogether.
minus 1. Yeah.
You're also fighting something on foot in a mech, which means you double the roll.
Woo!
You double the result. So in this case, it goes from 13 to 26.
Yep.
It also has a pen of 2 in this case. And actually,
Yep.
I feel like I should tell you, guess what? Remember the way I told you have a chain lash and it has shred?
It does.
Shred lets you re-roll your damage roll if you want to roll higher. You literally can't roll worse.
Yeah, I can't roll worse.
So that's for your weapon specifically. So your attribute, it stays the same, but the 2d4 you get to re-roll.
Yeah, 2d4. Hey guys, slightly better. 4.
Objectively better, yeah. So that would be a total
Double.
of 15 damage, so 30 damage total.
Fuck yeah, get off my windshield.
Oh my god. Okay. So this guy, as you bring your describe how you attack this thing.
So
You're sort
I
of, like,
attempt to
lashing it
try
out.
and like wrap the chain link around its leg and try and like yank it off.
Okay. So as you do, and the thing revs, and the chain begins to whir, you can see like it manages to lash around it, and there's this explosion of way the hell too deep crimson across the front of your windscreen as the thing tears through its body. And for a second, you think it's dead until you see a hand onto your screen and through it. Yeah. You can see that on the other end, this dude has been shredded horribly. Like, there's very little of his lower torso left intact. But you can see that, like, what's left of its upper torso and its arm is still clinging to your mech, and its other arm is currently still, like, clenching into it. And beneath the visor, you see a pair of purple eyes looking at you, glaring at you. And then the eyes split into 2 more sets of eyes, begin to drift around, looking at different parts of the interior of your cockpit. It's not even screaming. It's just making that same clicking
Fucking
sound.
mildly horrifying, isn't it? Cool.
It's a little bit.
I will say, though, you did an insane amount of damage to it. It has, I think, out of its total health now, because it had ablative health, which you completely burned through. So it has a total now of 3 hit points to its name and 0 ablative armor hit points.
I do have a plan then, because I've still got
Sure.
my movement, right? And it's still attached to my windscreen area covered in blood.
100%, yes.
Yeah.
It's grappled to you.
So my plan, and you'll have to see if we can allow me to do this. So I've got 2.5 movement, because fuck this dude.
You know where you're going with this. You're going to try to go over the edge, aren't you?
I am 100% going to try and go over the edge. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm going to walk to the edge and with my half movement fall forward. And just try and crush it beneath me. I understand I'll be prone or whatever the equivalent is, but I'm hoping
You wouldn't. Your
it will
mech
just
is designed to
squish it.
survive falls even with this much damage.
Oh my
So
gosh.
you would land on your feet. So I'm
No,
going to...
but that's the thing. I don't want to land on my feet. I want to land on my windscreen and squish the guy.
Yeah.
This is so perfect, I have to let you try. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be making me a piloting roll for this.
Oh, good. I can do that. I know how to pilot things. Going back up.
Okay, so this thing is still clinging to your windshield over here.
Piloting is intelligence again. So D10, that's that one, and D6. Oh, I maxed out on the D8, the D10. D10.
Okay.
That's,
Okay.
16 in total.
Let's go. That's a great roll.
All right. So I'm just doing a little quick mental math here. So it's D6 falling damage for every 10 feet you fall in Legacy. So that means that this dude is falling. He's going to get 5d6 damage. You're going to take nothing because your mech is designed to even land off center and survive the impacts. But this thing, on the other hand, not so much.
Like a tube of toothpaste.
Yeah, and bear in mind,
That's
I'm
still
landing
enough.
on it as well. So.
Oh yeah, I figured as much. So, your mech, its legs are so damaged, it's almost like hobbling as it's walking towards the edge. And for a second, it almost seems confused on your windshield. Like its eyes are like drifting, looking around, trying to see what you're doing. And then its whole head turns towards the edge and then looks back, and its eyes, all four of them, widen. And do you have any awesome Arnold Schwarzenegger thing you want to say to this guy before you utterly pancake his ass on the floor below?
I don't want to say anything, but I do want to hold my hand up to
Yeah, right to where his hand is against your windshield.
Yeah.
As you go over the edge, and this thing barely has a chance to open a mouth behind the visor, which splits the visor all the way through, until you literally see this horrifying, like, Pac-Man style mouth filled with teeth open, scream as you both hit the ground, and then your screen really does get completely covered in ichor. Like, you mercifully don't see what happens to its body, but you can guess there's very little of it left. It's dead.
Fuck off me!
That's like the deadest it could be. It's
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Just putting your fucking hand there.
Yeah.
Old ship AI? That's the question.
Like proper, like, you know, the last episode of the Doctor Who season where Rose and the Doctor on parallel universes. That's what I'm thinking in my head.
all you see on your HUD is Calcifer's icon appear and just say "seatbelts save lives." And we're then going to go to next in the order, which is going to be the Schmoes, who I actually have to make bravery tests for now because you horribly murdered multiple people in incredibly novel ways in full sight of them. Wow, their courage is really piss poor. Okay, so this is going to be entertaining. They're at D6s. There's 5 of them. They're only at +1. One of them.
Wow.
Oh, Lord.
One of them stays. As it's probably the one that's run the furthest forward, as the other 4 just take a look at each other and then put their guns in their backs and start running the other way as fast as they fucking can. I'm gonna make actual coordination rolls, see how far they go. A further 3, 1, 2, 3. They're literally clambering over boxes to get away from this nonsense. As like the mech over there took one step back, its optic looks down and sees the men fleeing, and it's honestly kind of concerned. Elias, on the other hand, over here, I think he honestly, like, I'm gonna make a test for him because I want to see. Okay, Elias is actually pretty fucking battle hardened, but he's seen what's happened over here, and it just this guttural grunt of frustration you hear over the intercom. You just hear him say, "All right, well, I know when I'm beat, but I sure as hell am not leaving without getting something for it." And good thing
You might
he has that. Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So he's going to run forward, and he's going to pull out one of his SMG and just unload it in the general direction of you two. He has 2 shots with this. So this is going to be, first one is going to be at Becky. The second one is going to be at you back there, JJ. Neither of them hit. but it lights the sides of the containers up as this hard suit comes charging across the battlefield at you. Clearly, Elias just wants at least a pound of flesh before he goes.
Asshole.
That's the end. We're at the top, Kushtaka. You're no longer invisible. How many charges? I believe your thing has 2 or is it 3 charges for invisibility?
Let me double check. Optical camouflage, energy system 3 charges.
Okay, so you have 1 more invisible. I think you can go invisible 1 more time, if you so choose.
I'm going to tell Elias that that's going to cost him. I'm trying to Molotov the mech again.
Okay, so you're gonna Molotov him this time?
No, the mech.
Oh, the big one back here in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Give me the roll. Oh my god. I'm not gonna roll. You don't have to, I'm gonna just put it this way. Unless he rolls ridiculously high. Holy shit. Which
Oh my
I
God.
don't see that happening.
I have a
at
40.
all.
He rolls a 1.
Yeah, he does.
You love
Hey,
to
Derek.
see it.
No.
Alright, can I just ask,
You
did you
own,
like
you
suck
own
the
him.
dick of roll 20 or something? Like,
it's the karma. It's
Yeah.
It's the karma of sacrificing a character last night, dude.
yeah.
Oh my god.
There's no purer karma than a character death. Derek, your character owns his mech. How do you want to do this? Like
Ellie, flop
you
onto
own
the
every-
4 guys that are running and blow up.
All right. Yeah, no. Out of sequence, he just takes his optics are looking at you, and as you sort of like pop out of cover and bring your hand up, and your wrist link glows as the hacking module activates, and there's a little pulse of green light in his camera. And then his mech begins to move, and the camera suddenly starts looking back and forth, very concerned as to what the fuck is going on. I'm not telling it to do this, as it takes like literally a couple strides to the right, and then on top of these 4 guys. I'm gonna make an attack roll against them just for the fun of it. Actually, no, this will be coordination rolls to attempt to get out of the way. Okay, they managed to get out of the way. They all dodge out of the way, and then it explodes, and they don't dodge out of the way of the explosion. This guy was at full reactor complement.
How much dice do I get to roll this time?
Let's see. Well, it's a 10-inch range. Oh god, it's a 10-inch range, or it's a 10 tick range.
Yeah!
What the fuck, Derek?
Oh my god.
You literally catch everybody but the party.
How many
40-20,
dice is it
Derek.
on me?
It's 4d20. 4d20 for nuke
God.
damage as this thing's reactor unchains again.
Yes.
Oh my
26
god. I might have to
damage.
revisit the hacking rules. Holy shit, but this
Good
is so
lord.
amazing in the moment.
To be fair, I've just been rolling fucking heat all day.
You
Yeah, that's
have-
what it is. It's just his luck has been out of
I was
this
gonna
world.
say,
Like, oh my god.
26 is like the lowest roll he's
I haven't had a
all night.
single
Like,
roll today that I haven't exploded on, except for
Right.
like
Oh my
one of
God.
them.
All right, there's only one person I need to check to see what the situation is with him. Okay, so looking at his stat line. Motherfucker. Okay, so there is an explosion. The only real way to describe an explosion, again, this bright, is the same as before. A flash of light, this time so bright, literally everyone on this platform, I'm going to say you're at -1 for your next action for how bright it is. Not that it matters, as there is a bright flash of light and another bend in the ground as this overpressure wave rocks across the platform and bends this part of the metal down into the ground into like a golf ball shape. There's a big glass crater that spans that whole side of the slab, and you can see the light catches the edge of Elias, and just for a second, he's illuminated, and then he's just gone.
Yeah! Let's fucking go! We got that asshole.
Man, you know,
I'm
I'm gonna
just
put this out
shocked
there.
right now.
yeah, when I put this encounter together, I was like, This
You
might be
literally-
overkill. I'm dropping 4
You
mechs
literally
on them.
said you guys are gonna die because if I didn't put this timer on it, you guys are gonna fucking die. And in 3 turns, I delete the entire goddamn thing.
I literally did not account for the fact that there would be not 1, not 2, but 3 overpressure heat explosions. Sorry,
Ooh.
4. Sorry, 2 heat failures, 2 reactor explosions. Holy shit, guys!
Feels good, man. Feels good, man.
There's a
exciting
brief
combat session.
yeah, there's a brief pause as like the shockwave slowly disappears, and in the distance, that fireball that's been getting closer finally ends up directly in front of you as this little lander craft. We're just if it's all right, can we just push through to finish this because we're basically towards the end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that all right with you guys? Okay. So as this lander craft, bigger than that, Jesus. This lander craft lands on the platform dead center, and leaning out of the side of it, you can see Shadar hanging off like one of the rails, and he just looks at this place and looks around at all of you. Louis, you're on the very bottom. Like, it's gonna
I'm
be a
still
climb.
lying down. I'm having a nap. But like, they'll beat the shit out of me.
That's fair. Like you get to just he looks around and then looks up at all of you. Were you all responsible for this?
I become
Well, it
visible right
wasn't
next to
that.
him.
Yeah, by all means, you guys can move
Visible.
yourselves freely now. Like we're out of combat, so
I just like
Yeah.
I'm limping,
Yep.
but I'm like, I helped. I
yeah,
did
you
stuff.
literally had to climb King Kong style back up with one arm. It was
Yeah.
very precarious.
Be like,
Do we have a mech? Am I a mech? I
I'm
need a new
sorry.
suit. Could someone grab my gun? It's back there.
You were able to grab it and secure it back
Yeah.
on your back. I can at least let you do it. You can't wield it, but you can at least put it
Yeah,
on
that's fine.
like a maglock.
they got what was coming.
this is what happens when you're not friends with us.
Shadar just looks around this place and then back at all of you. Well, you all are absolutely fucking insane. I have to admit, I'm impressed, actually. Well, I was expecting to extract you out of a hot zone, but I suppose not. Everyone get on board. Hey, Chad, drop the anchor, would you? And inside you just hear, you're gonna pass. And there's a clanking sound as a winch drops from the back and locks onto your mech. So you can actually, your mech is going to be carried, just so you know, Louis. You're
good.
not going to have it left behind. And it locks you into place like a tow truck. And Shadar sort of points towards the top, and you guys can see, like, the top part of this is almost like a flatbed. It's designed for you all to sit on. And you can literally clamp yourselves onto the wall on little, like carabiners so you don't slide anywhere. All right, everyone. Say goodbye to your world, I suppose.
He's gonna try not to vomit as she gets in. Like, oh.
I just be like, are you okay?
Their insides should not be outside. That's not normal.
Oh, you have an issue. Okay. And then Amaya's gonna try to understand that, because being somebody who kind of just like jellies around,
You're
and
just
like, I
jello.
don't understand inside outside.
What is
What does
inside?
this mean?
On the bright side, it was relatively painless for most of them.
And especially
Doesn't help. Doesn't
Not for
help.
my guy. He didn't say ow, but he looked ow.
Not for your creep guy.
Yeah.
From down below the gantryways, you guys can actually see that Gallant comes jogging up, along with behind him your friend Cogsworth, who actually comes rolling in a ball style, like literally almost like a wheel, comes rolling up. All right, I didn't miss the ride. All right, we're all good to go, and just sort of like jumps on and locks themselves in. And as the ship begins to take off and head towards upper atmosphere, Becky, you feel a pulse on the side of your where your pocket is holding the thing,
Oh no.
and you get a little ping on your wrist link. If you wish to do it, now is the time.
Yep. Just slam the button.
Yeah, you just sort of like pull out the thing and just like slap it down, and this orb levitates out of your hands and very quickly goes from being an orb to a bright and clearly visible ring as this thing slowly begins to expand from this bright white ring the size of a door to the size of the ship you're on to about the size of a football stadium. And even further as it just keeps growing until you have this thing probably 1 kilometer wide trailing behind the ship. And there's a soft thump as what little air up here at this part of the atmosphere displaces. And behind you can see this field of stars, which slowly grows dimmer until you see what almost looks like silver rain come pouring out of it. And then the thing just sinks back together and zips back in your hand and goes dull again as this cloud of silver falls towards Barreldyne and hits the upper atmosphere, and like watching a rock dropped into a pond, creates a ripple across the atmosphere visible to all of you. And as it does, you can see the water go from this really deep indigo to a somewhat brighter shade of cerulean as it spreads across the planet, literally like a wave. And on the other side, you can see this almost oval shape come off the atmosphere until it appears into the sky and solidifies into a perfect sphere right next to the other moon.
Yeah.
And from inside the cockpit, you can hear Shadar say, "So that was it, right?"
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. Easy. Sorted.
Right?
Damn, we need to get this thing off this planet immediately. And as you guys hit into upper orbit, you can see a number of starships spacefold nearby. You can feel the slight wave of gravity pressure come by, as a number of smaller ships and one larger one in particular. Here we go. One larger one in particular. What the fuck? Why are you not showing me? There we go. Appears as this nearly, I believe it is sitting at a grand total of, 2 kilometers of iron appears in space in front of you. And over the comms you hear, "This is NNC Dawn approaching with the Iron Child Fleet Command. Please divert your orbital path from our current orbital trajectory. We are engaging in combat maneuvers." And as you hear that, the ship sort of lurches to the side, and 2 underslung cannons under its nose light up, and that ship that got in a low orbit before just dissolves, literally melted in half by this beam of soft purple light that comes from underneath it.
Thank you.
And
Sick.
that, I feel, is where we will end this session.
Hell yeah, I got chills.
And also, Life is gonna need to get the.
Assuming he's
Assuming
alive.
he's alive. He's
Yeah.
gonna need to get a ride home in cuffs.
Guys, well done. That was a major event. You're all getting 3
Hell
points of
yeah.
experience for that.
I am going to have to skip the outro because I have to go get my pizza.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Much love, Omni, Derek. Thank you
Godspeed,
everyone for
Paul.
being
Love you,
here. I
buddy.
love you all, and I'll
Thank
see
you,
you
buddy.
next time, no doubt.
Love
Bye-bye,
you, buddy.
guys.
Have
Take
good
care,
pizza.
Paul.
Bye.
Have a good one, buddy. And everyone, make sure you go subscribe to Paul Ampersand. Go follow him on Twitter. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Much love to them. Yeah.
Yes.
And finally, everyone else, guess your outros. Derek, I hand the stream back to you, pal.
Hey, what's up, folks? Let's go in order. JJ, where can people find you, homie?
Hello, friends. You can check me out on Twitter at JJ_Cray. And you can find me here. I'm always here on this channel, this lovely channel. So make sure you subscribe. Let's see. I think this is currently the only campaign that I'm doing right now on stream. Yeah,
True.
I think this one is the only one for right now. So yeah, thank you to my homies for having me here. I always love playing with you
Yeah.
guys,
Hell
watching
yeah.
your content. So yeah, come hang out with us. Okay, thanks.
Love you, girl. Thank you for being here, man. Mega appreciate
Showing
it.
all the sass and being amazing.
Hell yeah. Bon, what's good in your hood, dude?
I am Bon Bon Butcher. I don't really do public, but you can find me every other Thursday on the last Omnitext channel. Yeah! Playing in Etanria, a Pathfinder game, and every
Hell yeah.
other Saturday here for Legacy.
Oh yeah, thank you for being here, Bon.
Thank you, much appreciated. You are awesome, and I love getting to play games with you. Much love. Thank you for sharing your mans with me so much throughout the week too.
Yeah. Thank you for taking good care of him.
Absolutely. And Omni, the mastermind behind the game we're playing. What's happening?
Oh man, I am having an existential crisis as I figure out if I need to rebalance the system or just accept the fact that you rolled literally so hot. There's no system on Earth that could contain you.
I think it was the second one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it really was. You exploded multiple D20s. I feel like there's nothing I could do about that. Like that is what it is, dudes. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Legacy First Flight, a faster than light tale in the world of tomorrow. I've been working on this game for 20 years, and it's really satisfying to see my friends have fun in it. So thank you guys so much. The beta is still coming. I'm working on it. It'll be out as soon as I can get it. So soon. I'm just going to put soon soon ellipsis at the end. So thank you guys so much for having me on. You can catch me here on twitch.tv/DMDM Studios all the time. I will be here later tonight, actually, for Covet.
Yeah.
So, super excited for that. Also, you guys can catch me on here next week running Mouse Guard, which I'm super excited for, as well as also on my channel, twitch.tv/TheLastOmnitect. I do world building, art streams, and rule smithing all live. And I also run Wild Skies Batanria, a lighter than air Pathfinder 2e adventure. Join us there every other Thursday. So not this Thursday, but the Thursday after for the next session of Batanria, and Legacy every other week here as well. This place, this channel, this time. And Derek, much love. I appreciate letting me stream this on your channel, buddy.
Dude, hell yeah, man. Thank you for making such a beautiful game that we all get to play together and have fun with. Having a blast. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Omni. Love you, buddy. Much appreciated as always. Can't wait for Covet tonight. Yeah, you can find us next live here in about 2-ish hours, live with Covet Syndicate. Back to the Morning Castle. We missed the last couple weeks, so I'm excited to get back to it.
Yes.
Monday, Soldiers of Fortune over on Red's channel. Tuesday, I don't know what I'm doing, but probably something with Red. Wednesday, Mouse Guard at 7:30, right over here. Thursday, nothing. Friday, Darker Stars. And then next Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Booty. Wait, maybe not actually. I can't remember. I might not have Booty next week. I don't remember. But I love y'all, and I will see y'all in about 2 hours. Bye.
Peace.